Chapter 470. After hundreds of years, this place had become a place where things remained the same but people had changed. Along the way, he did not recognize a single person. However, the young man also knew in his heart that the people of his generation should have become powerful experts. How could they be wandering around the streets for no reason? Sigh. With a sigh, the young man did not eat the drumstick in his mouth. When he thought of his previous feelings, he could not help but feel melancholy in his heart. Move. Move aside quickly. Suddenly, a hurried shout came from the front. Immediately, the young man recovered from his daze and raised his head to look ahead. At this moment, in front of him, a young storm leopard was rushing towards him. Furthermore, one could see that the storm leopard's body was covered in wounds. Without a doubt, this place was very close to the auction house. At a glance, it was obvious that it had run out from the auction house. As for the 1,000-year-old expert following behind the storm leopard, the young man did not care. He did not even look at him. His gaze turned to the storm leopard. The young man casually waved his hand and the storm leopard, who was originally stumbling but still moving very quickly, was instantly dragged by an invisible force and flew straight towards the young man. Ao. Monster beasts were similar to humans. Other than the difference in their body structure, they were the same. They could cultivate and had thoughts. Therefore, when it felt that it was being captured without any resistance, a sense of danger caused it to panic a little, causing it to repeatedly roar. This action caused the eyes of the people on the bustling street to light up. Who else could do it so easily? Not to mention that this young monster beast was not their opponent. Just looking at the storm leopard's speed, they could not be very strong. It was even more impossible to capture it so easily. Regarding this, everyone looked at the young man with eyes full of worship. This was the worship of the strong. Hee, little guy, the emperor saw that you were pitiful and wanted to save you. Why are you unwilling? After the monster beast entered his arms and looking at the injured storm leopard, the young man said to it with a smile on his face. Then, he used his cultivation to begin healing the wounds in his arms. In an instant, the wounds that were originally so deep that the bones could be seen instantly healed under the young man's touch. The wounds quickly began to close up. Who are you? A young yet arrogant voice rang out. The young man did not even lift his head when he heard this voice. He continued to carefully treat the storm leopard in his arms. When the young man saw that his words were ignored, his self-esteem suddenly seemed to have received a 10,000-fold blow. He angrily began to threaten the young man. Do you know who I am? I am the young master of the Wuxia Trading Company. I advise you to give me Fengyun Panther and let's pretend that nothing happened. Finally, when he heard the name Wuxia Trading Company, the young man's eyelids twitched. He raised his head and looked at the young man with great interest. Sizing up the little boy from head to toe, his brows furrowed tightly for a moment. From the boy's body, he couldn't see any trace of his family. You said you're from the Wuxia Trading Company? The young man's words made the young man overjoyed. In the young man's heart, he secretly thought that the young man was intimidated by his identity. Thus, he spoke even more arrogantly. That's right, I am from the Wuxia Trading Company. If you want to give me Fengyun Panther, I will teach you a lesson. The young man's words fell into the young man's ears. For a moment, the young man's heart was filled with interest. He looked at the young man with great interest and said. You said you're the young master of the Wuxia Trading Company, but so am I. Tell me, should I listen to you or not? Wow, the young man's words stunned everyone present. Those who were not watching, those who were setting up stalls, and even the millennium-old man were stunned. Everyone's face was filled with suspicion, especially the self-proclaimed young master of the Wuxia Trading Company. In a moment, his expression changed rapidly, as if he was defeated. The young man saw the hope of many people around him. he didn't care about their actions at all. Fine, fine, fine. Kid, you're courting death, so don't blame me. At this moment, the young man did not argue. Instead, he waved his hand in the air. Suddenly, a few figures appeared in front of everyone. Quick, look, isn't that Dong Qing? Yes, the genius of the Dong family's collateral branch. Sigh, he's good. Although he's cultivated to such a high level, in the end, he's still a hired thug. That's right. If it weren't for that incident 100 years ago, I'm afraid that the Dong family would still be the Dong family's direct descendant, and Dong Qing wouldn't have ended up like this. In a moment, the moment the few people appeared, the surrounding people's eyes were sharp. They immediately recognized a particularly famous young man from the Dong family. Little brother? The moment the young man appeared, the excited male emperor frowned. He saw a figure that he missed dearly. No, he's not. After observing for a while, the young man realized that the young man who appeared was not his little brother at all. It was just that the young man's appearance and temperament were similar to his little brother. Quick, catch him for me. I want him alive, I want him alive. The young man in front of him was almost shouting. His face was very ferocious. When the young man saw this scene, he was immediately disappointed. I'm very disappointed that the Dong family has a young master like you. I didn't expect that the Dong family would decline after 100 years. Since that's the case, there's no need to keep you alive. After saying that, the young man did not wait for the young man who looked like his little brother to make a move. He took a step forward, and the entire city trembled instantly. Rumble. Rumble. At the same time, the place where Lin Rei's foot was stepping on began to crack. Quick! Don't run, quick! When the strange scene appeared, the surrounding people scattered at once. They wanted to rush to the safe secret place. At this moment, they were using all their strength. Their speed was several times faster than before. Crack! Crack! The cracking sounds became louder and louder. Everyone was panicking. They did not expect that this unknown young man in luxurious clothes was actually a powerful cultivator. Even the young man who started the trouble began to regret. The young man was no longer like before. He sat on the ground and began to cry. Moreover, what was even more unbearable was that the area between the young man's legs was already covered in that yellow and white thing from before. At this moment, looking at the young man's appearance, the young man began to wonder if this young man was actually a descendant of the Li family. During this process, his eyes lit up. The person who was called Dong Qing by the passers-by had been standing there the whole time. When she encountered this kind of situation, her beautiful eyes were filled with fear. Instead, she looked at him with a look of helplessness. TSK, how can this be? Why is this young man's aura more and more similar to my little brother's? Looking at the young man was full of doubts. After thinking for a while, he could not explain clearly. Then, the young man withdrew his cultivation and did not make things difficult for them. This is the disaster of not respecting your elders. Who would have thought that in the hundreds of years since the emperor's return, the Dong family would have someone as arrogant and despotic as you? Damn, the Dong family should change their cards. After saying this, the young man did not waste any more time. Instead, he took a step forward and disappeared with the Fengyun leopard in his arms. Everything returned to normal. The young man was still sitting on the ground in panic. His legs were weak and he did not dare to get up. As for the young man's words, the young man did not hear them at all. However, Dong Qing, who was next to him, heard them clearly. At the same time, her heart was in turmoil. Could it be that he's back? After hearing the young man's words, Dong Qing seemed to think of a family legend. However, just as she thought of this, she shook her head and denied it. No, that person hasn't appeared for 800 years. Although this was what she thought, she was very excited. She did not stay outside. Instead, she turned around and rushed towards the Wuong trading company not far away. At this moment, in the Dong family, the young man arrived at the Wuong trading company without any effort. When he saw that the family that he had been thinking about day and night had become something that he did not recognize, he was very upset. How could this be? Looking at the luxurious surroundings, the young man was a little disgusted. According to his father's principle, he had always advocated frugality. Even if his family was not ordinary, he would not allow his family members to be arrogant, despotic, and pretentious. However, everything changed when he appeared again. Who is trespassing on the Dong family's land? Just as the young man was in a daze, a voice suddenly rang out and pulled the young man back to reality. When I looked up, I saw a man in luxurious clothes with a disgusting oily face. Lin Rei could not help but laugh. The Emperor, Dong Xiaonan. In short, he did not need to hide his identity from the Dong family. Besides, he had come here to take Dong Li's family away. Dong, what? When he heard the young man's name, he was confused. However, when he recalled that there was a young master 800 years ago, he was shocked. He looked at the young man warily and said in a cold and murderous tone. Dong Xiaonan, the young master of the Dong family 800 years ago. When the young man heard his identity, the young man nodded in agreement. Hiss. After confirming that there was no mistake, the young man gasped. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. He looked like he wanted to kill Dong Li. When the young man realized this, he frowned. The young man was shocked by the young man's reaction. A bad feeling arose in his heart. Boom! Instantly, the young man did not waste his time. His divine sense rushed out of his body and scanned the entire Dong family from top to bottom. The more he searched, the more shocked he was. At the same time, he became anxious. During his search, he could not find any trace of his parents. The more he searched, the more frightened he became. At this moment, his murderous intent surged out involuntarily. Suddenly, when the young man was extremely disappointed, 3 figures and 4 figures appeared in his mind. At this moment, tears flowed out of his eyes uncontrollably. His murderous intent exploded. It was so strong that the entire city was enveloped by the young man's murderous intent. In the entire city, when everyone felt this murderous intent, they all lay down on the ground. It was not because they wanted to, but because this murderous intent was so strong that they were suppressed involuntarily. You are so good. How dare you treat the emperor's family like this? You should all be killed. The young man recognized 3 of the 4 figures in his mind. They were his parents and his younger brother, whom he had been thinking about day and night. As for the young woman, she looked very extraordinary. She must be his sister-in-law. However, what made it hard for the young man to accept was that at this moment, all of their shoulder blades were locked. Although they had lost their cultivation, the young man could still feel a faint spiritual energy. This spiritual energy was being emitted from his younger brother's body. At this moment, the young man could not bear it anymore. He teleported to the dungeon where his parents were locked up. Father, mother, I'm late. With a plop, the instant they arrived at the dungeon, the male brother knelt on the ground and said to his parents with a trembling voice. When the 4 injured men heard the young man's voice, they frowned and sneered without even raising their heads. Ha! Ha ha, I didn't expect you to be so shameless. You even used the name of my dead son. Do you think this is the same as finding the Wuong Trading Company's seal? Do you think you can use the Dong family's shadow guards just like that? Ha 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 ha, dream on. Even if my entire family dies here, I will not let the shadow guards be destroyed by you. Puff. As soon as he finished speaking, he spat out a mouthful of blood, which landed directly on the young man's body. "Father, father, how are you?" The young man completely lost his mind when he felt the heat from the blood. He came to the old man's side in an instant and injected a stream of pure immortal chi into the old man's body. This situation happened so suddenly that the old woman, middle-aged man, and middle-aged woman all raised their heads and came to the old man's side and surrounded him. However, the young man's actions were all seen by the three people. Instantly, they raised their eyebrows and looked up. When they saw the young man's real appearance, the old woman and middle-aged man were stunned on the spot. Their eyes were filled with disbelief as they looked at the person in front of them, who they had imagined countless times. At this moment, he really appeared in front of them. "Father, how are you?" At this moment, the young man's face was gloomy because he felt that his father's body was full of holes. Moreover, he had been poisoned by a slow-acting poison. This poison would not kill the person immediately, but it would devour the person's soul until it was completely devoured. Ahem. Ahem. I'm fine. He coughed softly and turned around. When he saw the young man's real appearance, his body trembled slightly and tears gushed out of his eyes uncontrollably. "I'm back." Chapter 471. The words "I'm back" contained too many feelings for his parents and younger brother, so much so that the moment he said those words, the young man instantly burst into tears and started crying. As family members who had not seen each other for more than 100 years, the four of them hugged each other and began to cry. This sentence was not over yet. The woman on the side was very excited when she saw this scene. She was happy for her husband and her in-laws. Time passed little by little. No one knew how long they cried, but they stopped when they seemed to be unable to cry anymore. The four of them separated. Father Dongwan, Mother Kaiyu, and brother Dong Tiancheng all looked at the young man, waiting for an explanation. "Let's talk about this later. I wanted to take you away when I came back this time, but I didn't expect you to be hurt like this." As he spoke, the young man had the intention to kill. He originally just wanted to take his family away, but now it was not so simple. Alas! Yes, I didn't expect that they would do this as a member of the Dong family. Looking at his son's appearance, Dongwon knew that his long-lost son had the intention to kill. But when he thought that this was a business that he had built single-handedly, he could not bear to let it go to waste. "Forget it, young man. They didn't kill me. Since this is the case, we don't have to go too far. Just teach them a little lesson." "Well, yes, big brother. After all, this is the family that father founded. If it's destroyed like this, then, okay, I know." Of course, the young man understood his father and brother's words. The moment his brother Dong Tiancheng finished speaking, he directly interrupted and said, "I know what you mean. Don't worry, I won't do anything to the Dong family, but those who hurt you are destined not to be forgiven." At this point, Dongwon also knew that this was the only way, so he did not stop them. After all, they did go too far. "Father, I have already healed your injuries. As for your cultivation, I can't do that. But when I see Brother Lei, I will plead with him to help you recover your cultivation." As he spoke, the young man's eyes could not help but moisten again. When he thought of the suffering his father and family had suffered for so many years, he could not help but want to kill everyone in the Dong family. "Okay." Dongwon nodded his head excitedly and agreed. "Alright, let's go." Without waiting for them to react, a surge of immortal chi wrapped around them and dragged them into the air. Instantly, the four of them were shocked. This was the first time they had seen such a miraculous power. Swish! In the eyes of Dongwon and the other three, before they could say anything, the scene before them instantly changed. When they looked again, the cell that had imprisoned them for 100 years was finally gone. Hiss, Dongwen couldn't help sucking in a breath of cold air when he saw this. His eyes widened in disbelief. What kind of strength is this? It's so powerful. It's much more powerful than the teleportation of a body integration realm cultivator. That's right. I didn't expect Big Brother to be so powerful after disappearing for so many years. Sigh. Hearing the family's discussion, the young man didn't say anything. He just smiled and released a wave of pressure to suppress everyone in the Dong family. Puff. Puff. The pressure was so powerful that even a Heaven Immortal expert couldn't withstand it, let alone a cultivator who hadn't even reached the Mahayana realm. The moment the young man released his pressure, the cultivation of all the cultivators in the Dong family flew away. Some of them couldn't withstand the pressure and died suddenly. The male emperor, who had done all this last night, sneered and was about to leave. At this moment, Dong Tiancheng, who was in the restriction formed by the immortal Qi, suddenly shouted. Big brother, you can't leave yet. I have to take my son with me. What, son? The male emperor, who was about to leave, stopped abruptly when he heard his younger brother's words. At the same time, a strange feeling arose in his heart. I didn't expect my younger brother to have a descendant after not seeing him for hundreds of years. Huh? The male emperor smiled and asked, what's your son's name? What does he look like? When Dong Tiancheng heard this, he immediately described his son's appearance to his elder brother. However, after Dong Tiancheng's description, the younger brother felt that the son in his younger brother's mouth seemed to be the young man who he was very close to. Could it be? The male emperor, who had thought of something, instantly released his divine sense. Instantly, the panoramic view of the entire city appeared in his mind. I found him. Finally, Dong Qing, who was not far away from the Dong family, was rushing towards them. After a while, under the detection of the young man's divine sense, Dong Qing moved quickly and arrived at the entrance of the Dong family. This young man is not bad. Looking at his nephew, the young man revealed an imperceptible smile. Then, he strode towards the entrance of the Dong family and bumped into Dong Qing. Son! Dong Tiancheng shouted. Not far away, Dong Qing, who looked anxious, heard his father shout. When he looked up, he saw his father and mother floating in the air. Below them was the mysterious powerhouse he had seen before. Dong Qing was very confused and shocked. However, at this moment, Dong Qing seemed to have understood something. Let's go. Before Dong Qing could react, the young man waved his hand and Dong Qing appeared beside Dong Tiancheng. At the same time, the scene in the depths of the Dong family disappeared. In the sky above the Lin family in the eastern martial city, Lin Rei was standing in the void. However, his divine sense had penetrated into the Lin family. Alas! Was it wrong to destroy his cultivation back then? The first thing he did when he arrived here was to go to the void of the Lin family. He released his divine sense to explore the Lin family. He wanted to see his relatives, but there was no one missing. Yes, when you came back, you destroyed my grandfather's cultivation. It has been more than 800 years. An ordinary person can only survive for 100 years, let alone 800 years. Lin Tian, who was beside him, saw Lin Rei's appearance and immediately agreed. Yes, maybe I am thinking too much. However, I only destroyed his cultivation back then. I didn't destroy my eldest brother's cultivation. Why? Before he had left, he had investigated his elder brother's cultivation level and aptitude. Even if the Lin family's cultivation method wasn't that great, based on his aptitude, he should be able to live through 800 years. However, there wasn't even a trace of him here. Linley was very disappointed. Looking at the young master's disappointed expression, Lin Tian did not say anything. Instead, he quietly watched from the side. After a moment of silence, Lin Rei finally reorganized his emotions. Then, he said to Lin Tian, "Let's go. Since there is no one I am waiting for here, let's leave." With that, Lin Rei took a step forward. Looking at Lin Rei's back, Lin Tian hurriedly chased after him. "Boy, be careful later. People who have the soul art are not ordinary. If possible, keep them for your own use. This kind of person is most suitable to help you solve the obstacles in front of you in the future." Along the way, the little dragon's voice sounded. But Lin Rei was really tempted by this suggestion. Tisk, this is also a good idea. Lin Rei pondered for a moment. Then, he spoke again. "When we reach the forest sky, find the person who has the soul art and use the soul controlling pill to keep them for our own use." PFFF. Ha ha ha. Lin Li had just finished speaking when he suddenly heard Xiaolong's merciless mocking laughter. Lin Li was stunned, not knowing what to make of it. "What are you laughing at?" "I'm laughing at you." Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon casually said, "I really don't know if you are really stupid or just faking it. People who cultivate the soul art specialize in absorbing other people's souls. Tell me, how can such a thing have a soul, let alone a soul?" Upon hearing the little dragon's explanation, Lin Rei didn't know what to say for a moment. He had only heard about the soul art from the little dragon, so he didn't know anything about it. "Then how do you think I should subdue it? If the soul-controlling pill doesn't work, don't tell me you're telling me to use my sincerity to subdue it." Regarding this matter, Lin Rei felt a huge headache. For a person who didn't walk on the path of soul and soul, they couldn't be called a human anymore. They were just like the zombie race who transcended the 6 paths and didn't belong to the 5 elements. But Lin Rei was sure that since the little dragon mentioned this method, it meant that he definitely had a way to subdue them. "Heh, boy, learn more." As expected, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei smiled knowingly and pricked up his ears to listen carefully. Although such a person doesn't have a soul, you can control their physical body. A physical body that can fuse with so many souls definitely isn't an ordinary existence. Control their physical body? Are you sure? Lin Rei couldn't understand the little dragon's words. He had heard of controlling souls before, but to control a physical body without a soul, this, Tendo Seed Demon Technique, Venerable Level Cultivation Technique. When the Seed Demon appears, chaos will begin. When the Seed Demon appears, Tao will perish. Upon hearing the little dragon's profound words, Lin Rei couldn't help but roll his eyes at him. But frankly speaking, Lin Rei was rather tempted by this venerable level cultivation technique. Not for any other reason, but because it was a venerable level cultivation technique. TSK, don't underestimate this cultivation technique. Although it doesn't increase one's cultivation or double one's attack, if it works well, you have to believe that the entire divine world will be destroyed. As soon as the little dragon said this, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. This was the first time he heard of a venerable level cultivation technique that didn't increase one's cultivation or double one's attack. "Oh, tell me about it." Looking at Lin Rei's indifferent expression, the little dragon was furious for a moment. Then, he explained the origin of the Tendo Seed Demon technique to Lin Rei. Chapter 472. This skill book had a great origin and the system didn't know who it belonged to. Anyway, this skill book could solve the problem of your blindness. But, looking at the little dragon's treacherous expression, Lin Rei knew that there was no such thing as a free lunch in this world, so, alright, you just want something. Say it, what do you want this time, as long as I have it? Sure enough, after hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon was instantly delighted and immediately stated its conditions. 1,000,000 exchange points, as usual, I'll owe you first. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry. After hearing Xiaolong's conditions, Lin Li didn't even have time to react. His body trembled, and he nearly fell from the sky. Aren't you embarrassed? Ah! How dare you? However, when Lin Rei almost died from anger after hearing the little dragon's words, the little dragon's voice sounded again. And, what, there's more. This time, Lin Rei couldn't stay calm. If it was a venerable level skill book that cost 1 million, Lin Rei could barely endure it. But now, it wasn't over. For a moment, Lin Rei was so astonished that he had the urge to strangle the little dragon. Don't be nervous. He was already mentally prepared for Lin Rei's actions. Anyway, it was always like this and he was used to it. In addition to the 1 million exchange points, there's also 500,000 reputation points and you can ascend to the divine realm within a year. This time, Lin Rei didn't say anything. It wasn't that he didn't want to tell the little dragon, but he didn't have the courage. At this moment, Lin Rei was a little regretful. He regretted accepting the person who cultivated the soul art for his own use. But the little dragon's words had indeed moved him. Alright, you're really something. 1,500,000 reputation points and you can ascend to the divine realm within a year. You've earned a lot from this deal, right? At this point, Lin Rei wanted to retreat, but it was too late. Although there was a flat road behind him, it was no longer suitable for him. Although there was a bottomless abyss in front of him, Lin Rei still decided to jump down and explore the bottom of the abyss. Okay, it's your condition just now, but you have to promise me that you can only use the 1.5 million yuan when I want to give it to you. Otherwise, I'd rather not make this deal. Although he wasn't the banker, at least he had a trump card in his hand. Therefore, Lin Rei believed that little dragon would agree to this condition. Alright, I promise you. The little dragon was overjoyed at the successful transaction. At this moment, the little dragon couldn't help but reveal a sinister smile. I've been scammed again. In this regard, Lin Rei was very helpless. No matter how much experience he had, he was no match for the little dragon, this old thing who had lived for who knew how many years. Here, Tendo demonic seed technique. Without waiting for Lin Rei to react, the stupid Jin Su appeared in front of Lin Rei. The Jin Su flickered with a faint light that made one's heart palpitate. Looking at the technique, Lin Rei smiled bitterly and said to himself, 1,500,000. Just to think about it, the Jin Su spent 1,500,000 on me. I was still well off, but now it slapped me back to the war period before liberation. With that, Lin Rei grabbed the Jin Su. Immediately, his consciousness returned to his body and his body that was flying away stopped. At this time, Lin Tian, who was following Lin Rei, also stopped beside Lin Rei when he saw Lin Rei stop. He asked puzzledly, "Young master, what are you doing?" "I'm not leaving." Looking at the nearby Lin Tian, Lin Li said, "Young master, I'm going to train in a certain technique. Later, I'll find a random cave. Stand guard for me. Remember, don't let anyone disturb me." With that, Lin Rei instantly released his cultivation. Boundless immortal spiritual energy wrapped around Lin Tian and they disappeared in an instant. Although he was somewhat puzzled by his young master's actions, he would unconditionally obey everything he said. Even if Lin Rei asked him to commit suicide, he would do it without hesitation. On top of a tall mountain not far away, a figure appeared. He stretched out his hand and clenched it into a fist. He gathered his immortal chi and punched the stone wall in front of him. Boom! The loud sound disappeared as quickly as it appeared. At this moment, a huge cave appeared in the incomparably intact stone wall. However, what gave Lin Rei a headache was that he didn't control his strength well and directly punched through the mountain. Lin Rei was helpless about this. Moreover, he had already suppressed his strength. He didn't expect that in the end, this would still happen. Forget it, I don't care. I'll find a place to practice first. With that, Lin Rei walked into the cave and casually threw a formation to the other side of the cave. Then, he said to Lin Tian, "Little Tian, guard me. Remember, kill trespassers without mercy." "Yes, young master." Hearing Lin Rei's order, Lin Tian immediately went to the entrance of the cave and sat down cross-legged to guard Lin Rei. "Huh." Looking at Lin Tian's appearance, Lin Rei laughed. He didn't waste any time and directly sat down cross-legged. Jin Su was instantly taken out by Lin Rei's system. A tyrannical aura instantly stirred the surrounding space. Yo! Yo yo! As soon as this phenomenon appeared, Lin Rei was so frightened that he instantly put Jin Su away. Fortunately, this fluctuation wasn't detected by Lin Tian, which could be considered a blessing in disguise. "Huh, kid, I'm afraid you're the only one in this world who dares to do this." At this moment, the little dragon's voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei's face darkened as he said to the little dragon, "You still have the nerve to gloat. It's all your fault for not telling me." "Huh, yes, yes, yes. It's my fault, okay?" Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon didn't argue with him. Instead, it disappeared the moment it finished speaking. Humph. A cold snort came from Lin Rei's mouth. Then, with a wave of his hand, a king-level sealing formation appeared. After sealing everything in the surroundings, Lin Rei was relieved. "I don't believe this won't work." After saying that, Lin Rei took Jin Su out again. This time, the situation was different. Lin Rei smiled. Phew, Lin Rei took a deep breath and closed his eyes. His divine sense instantly rushed out and entered Jin Su. Boom, kacha, rumble, ah. "Let me out, I. Thunder rumbled and screams echoed. At this moment, Lin Rei found it hard to believe that the Jin Su was completely different from the previous cultivation method, where celestial sounds were faintly discernible and scenes that made people forget to leave. However, it was the complete opposite here. It was filled with a tyrannical aura. Living souls flew around in the air and screamed from time to time. Hiss. Oh my god. Even Lin Rei couldn't help but be shocked after seeing this scene. His hair stood on end. This was simply hell. Moreover, it was the kind of 18 levels of hell. Tendo Cycle, Tao Seed, Palace Scripture, Divine Soul, Capture the Flag. Tendo Reversible, 3000 Great Daos, Fleshly Body, Possession. Suddenly, two words, like the sound of the Great Tao, suddenly rang out. Instantly, Linley was stunned. It was as though he had entered a state of epiphany. He stood there stupidly, not moving at all, as though he had been struck dumb. Tendo Cycle, Tendo Reversible. The cycle of the Tao of the heavens. 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 Ha ha ha, Tendo Reversible, my life is my own, not the heavens. With the dragon spear in my hand, the world is mine. After an indeterminate amount of time, Lin Rei's eyes suddenly flashed with a domineering aura that was different from before. The souls that had been hovering around him suddenly scattered. Tendo Reversible, Great Tao even more reversible, Tendo Spore Devil, Soul Seed as main, Seed as auxiliary, control myriad worlds, play occasionally. These words suddenly rang out. Instantly, Linley felt as though he wanted to soar into the heavens. Right at this moment, one mysterious rune after another appeared, transforming into a divine chain that instantly shot into Linley's head. As time passed, the divine chain slowly sank into Linley's mind, until it finally disappeared. The moment all the runes entered Linley's mind, the originally breathtaking golden space instantly lost its original luster and became very desolate. It no longer had the previous scene. Ding dong. Congratulations to host for learning the first level of the Tendo Spore Devil magic, Spore Devil. Ding dong. The first level of the Spore Devil magic can release 3 seeds into the body of the host's chosen prey. The system's voice suddenly sounded, causing Lin Ray to laugh. Ha ha ha, 3 times? 3 times is not bad, it's better than nothing. Lin Ray was a person who knew how to be content with 3 chances. He then left the space of the golden strategy space. Phew, Lin Ray, who had returned to his original body, sighed softly. When he opened his eyes, the cave was already dark and the moon was hanging in the sky. It was very beautiful. I didn't expect to have cultivated for a day. Looking at Lin Tian, who was still guarding him at the door, Lin Ray stood up and walked towards Lin Tian. At this moment, sensing the situation in the cave, Today came back to his senses. When he saw that Lin Ray had woken up, he quickly stood up and said to Lin Ray, "Young master, you're finally awake. The male emperor has been sending messages asking where you are for the past 2 days. How many days?" Deciphering the information from Lin Tian's words made Lin Ray stunned for a moment. "How many days did you say I've been cultivating in the cave?" Lin Ray asked in disbelief. Yes, it has been 5 days since young master went into seclusion." After hearing the exact time, Lin Ray didn't say anything. He was secretly shocked. He didn't expect to stay in the golden strategy space for 5 days. "Oh, by the way, you said the male emperor sent a message?" Lin Ray, who had come back to his senses, suddenly thought of something and asked. Yes, and it seems to be very urgent. So far, he has sent 5 messages. On average, 1 message per day. Just like that. Chapter 473. Lin Ray, who understood the situation, did not stay any longer. He immediately said, "Let's go. Since you're so anxious, you might have encountered some trouble." "Okay." After saying that, the two of them exchanged glances. Then, they turned into streams of light and disappeared into the sky. At this moment, the man's family had arrived at the entrance of Sentian. They had been trying to contact Lin Ray for the past few days, but they could not get in touch with him. "What should we do? I thought we could just heal his injuries. I didn't expect father to be poisoned." On the second day after the man arrived at Sentian, Dongwan, who had been in a deep sleep, did not wake up. Furthermore, his aura was getting weaker and weaker. As time passed, Dongwan's aura had weakened to the point that the man was afraid. During the past 5 days, the man had tried to use his cultivation to help his father stabilize the poison. However, he did not expect the poison to be able to absorb the spiritual energy of the immortal qi. As the immortal qi increased, the poison was nourished to an uncontrollable level by the man. During these past few days, as an emperor-level alchemist, he had become all his hope. "Man, how is it? Have you contacted that person?" Just as the man was getting anxious, a weak voice that made the man's heart ache sounded in his ears. No. Perhaps Brother Lei has something important to do. However, I believe him. As long as Brother Lei sees my message, he will definitely rush over. I believe in him. Tisk, if he wanted to come, he would have come long ago. How could he not be here now? The male emperor, who was already anxious, was furious when he heard his brother speak of Lin Ray in such a way. He could not help but release a murderous aura. Shut up. An angry roar with a majestic murderous aura instantly caused the entire space to freeze. The surrounding temperature also began to drop due to the man's murderous aura. At the same time, the surrounding flowers and trees began to wither the moment they sensed the murderous aura. Hiss, everyone was shocked when they saw this. This was because they had never seen such a thing before. It could be said that they had never expected such a thing to happen. That was not all. When Dong Tiancheng sensed the killing intent from his big brother, he was shocked. Then, his imposing manner disappeared. Let me tell you, Brother Lei is not someone you can talk about. If you weren't my brother, you would be a dead man by now. Although the young man quickly said this, he actually thought so in his heart. He had always been very touched by Lin Rei. If it weren't for him, he probably wouldn't have such achievements in his life. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to live for a few years. Then, he wouldn't have been able to become the immortal emperor of the immortal world. I know, I won't do it again. Dong Tiancheng's weak voice sounded, which reduced the anger in the young man's heart. However, he was greatly disappointed by his younger brother's actions just now. Alright, as long as you don't do that in the future, it'll be fine. This is only because it's me. If it were any other disciple of Brother Lei, I'm afraid you would have died long ago. You probably wouldn't even have the chance to reincarnate. However, what the young man didn't know was that when he was reprimanding his younger brother, Lin Rei had already arrived at a place 10 meters away. Hee, this kid, what are you talking about? Am I that kind of person? Listening to the young man's words, Lin Rei wanted to cry and laugh at the same time. He didn't understand why the young man had such an evaluation of him in his heart. Well, what you said is very pertinent. If it were me, if he said such things, I'm afraid he would have died long ago. At this time, Lin Tian, who was following beside him, spoke. His tone was full of killing intent. It was obvious that he really wanted to kill. Alright, why bother? He's just a kid, there's no need to be so serious. After saying that, he smiled at Lin Tian and walked towards the young man. However, Lin Tian didn't do the same. His killing intent was still leaking out from his body as he followed behind Lin Rei. However, his gaze was fixed on Dong Tiancheng, who was beside the young man, and he looked like he wanted to kill him. The young man was still immersed in the atmosphere when he sensed someone approaching. He turned around and saw Lin Rei and Lin Tian appear. Brother Lei, you're here. When the young man saw Lin Rei again, he stood aside respectfully and nodded at Lin Rei. After nodding at Lin Rei, he asked, by the way, young man, why are you looking for me in such a hurry? The young man was about to speak, but after hearing Xiao Xing's question, he immediately said excitedly, Brother Lei, please save my father. He's been poisoned, and this poison, In an instant, the young man told him everything about his father's condition. He didn't dare to leave out anything because this concerned his father's life. Oh, so that's what happened. After hearing the young man's words, Lin Rei frowned and nodded. Then, he came to Dong Wen's side, squatted down, and entered Dong Wen's body with immortal qi to check. Time passed little by little. Lin Rei's check was finally coming to an end. At this moment, Lin Rei's brows were relaxed and he looked relaxed. Done. Finally, after removing his hand from Dong Wen's body, he stood up and came to the young man's side. He said, I know about uncle's poison. Actually, it's not poison at all. What, it's not poison? Hearing Lin Rei's words, the young man was stunned. He didn't know what Lin Rei meant. It's not poison. It's a type of parasite. Moreover, this parasite is very domineering. It's called the spirit-devouring parasite. Looking at the young man's frown, Lin Rei didn't buy any more information and directly told him the exact situation. The spirit-devouring parasite is a type of parasite that feeds on spiritual qi. However, its unique characteristic is that after the host's spiritual qi is completely devoured, it will devour everything related to spiritual qi, including the spiritual roots. So your father's condition. At this point, Lin Li didn't say anything else, because there was no need to say anything else. Saying anything else would just be a waste of time. Brother Lei, then my father's parasite poison is still, it's fine. The parasite poison is gone. However, your father is still very weak and needs to rest for a while. Other than that, there's nothing else. But fortunately, your father's spiritual roots weren't devoured by the parasite. So, if he cultivates again, he can still achieve something. With that, Lin Rei left with Lin Tian. What he wanted to do the most now was to capture the person who cultivated the soul mantra. As for the young man, he believed that with the young man around, nothing would be a problem. At this moment, when the male emperor heard that his father was fine, he was very excited. He originally wanted to leave with Lin Rei, but seeing that Lin Rei didn't have that intention, he gave up. He turned around and went to his father's side to take care of him. As for Lin Rei, there was no need to ask. After separating from the male emperor, Lin Rei brought Lin Tian and flew towards the depths of the forest sky. Along the way, Lin Rei released all of his 5 senses. He didn't want to let go of the person who cultivated the soul mantra because of his negligence. Hee, kid, don't waste your time. Your 5 senses can deal with ordinary people. But if you want to use them to find that person, tsk. Suddenly, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei came to a halt and flew into the air. At this moment, his consciousness had already entered the system. Why, the 5 senses are, when Lin Rei was about to ask the little dragon beat him to it. The soul mantra isn't as simple as you think. Apart from not having a soul, the most important thing is that it isn't afraid of any detection from the 5 senses. F*ck, is it that awesome? Hearing Xiaolong's words, Linli was speechless for a moment. They thought that they were already the best at cheating. They didn't expect that such a person would appear, and this person was even someone they couldn't do anything about. But there is a way that you can find. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei focused all of his attention on him. That is based on your feelings. After hearing this method, Lin Rei didn't want to say anything else. Based on feelings? Is this bullsh*t? Seeing that the little dragon didn't have any good ideas, Lin Rei didn't hesitate to exit the system and return to his physical body. Sigh. What are you going to do? After stopping talking about the person who cultivated the soul mantra, Lin Rei was like a deflated balloon and couldn't muster up any energy. Why, young master, actually, there is a way to catch that person. Lin Tian, who had always been by Lin Rei's side, naturally knew about Lin Rei's current state. As for Lin Rei, the reason why he brought Lin Tian along was that he was Lin Tian's only family in this world. However, he didn't expect Lin Tian to have a solution at this moment. In an instant, Lin Rei turned around and grabbed Lin Tian's arms. What solution, little Tian, tell me quickly. It's like this. That person's cultivation method is to devour souls. The purer the soul, the more that person desires it. So, we can. Lin Rei, who didn't have much hope, was filled with confidence after hearing Lin Tian's explanation. Besides, he believed that as long as this method worked, it would be a piece of cake to catch the person who wasn't allowed to cultivate the soul mantra. Okay. Let's do that. Lin Rei said and reminded Lin Tian, little Tian, go to the side later. I will lure that person out. During the entire process, you must not appear, okay? But before Lin Tian could say anything else, he was pushed out of the danger zone by a terrifying yet gentle force. Lin Tian felt helpless and powerless at the same time. He thought of rushing forward but gave up in the end because he knew that his cultivation wasn't enough. Even if he rushed forward, the result would be the same. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was standing in place, followed Lin Tian's method and released his pure soul energy, spreading it to a radius of 1,000 meters. Boom, boom, although it was soul energy, it was different for the soul of an immortal venerable. Immortal Venerable was the best realm for cultivating one's soul. Therefore, the soul energy had reached a level that could make the entire immortal world tremble. The moment the soul energy was released, the male emperor, who was resting with his eyes closed, widened his eyes in shock. What's going on? Could it be that Brother Lei's soul energy is in trouble? The young man regarded Lin Rei's life as more important than his. Therefore, after this incident, he seemed to have forgotten that Lin Rei was an immortal venerable. Little brother, you can stay here and show your age. I'll be back soon. After saying that, the young man disappeared from the spot. He couldn't refuse Dong Tiancheng, who was still in a daze. On the other side of Sun Tian, a young man with a tyrannical aura appeared. His eyes were filled with passion as he looked at the location of the pure soul force. He had a slanderous look on his face as he constantly smacked his lips. Kakik, soul essence, soul essence. A voice that seemed to come from the depths of hell pierced through the air. Immediately, the young man dashed towards the location of the soul essence. His speed was so fast that no one could catch up to him. At this moment, Lin Rei was the happiest. Although he had released his soul energy, the seed demon was ready. As long as the person who cultivated the soul art appeared, he would definitely be killed in one strike. There was no way he could escape. Whoosh! Suddenly, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Lin Rei, who was ready to take action, immediately launched an attack towards the source of the strange movement. However, what made Lin Rei feel helpless was that when he launched his attack, he saw that the person who came was the male emperor who had stayed behind to look after his family. Whist! He knew how terrifying the seed demon was. Therefore, when the seed demon was about to enter the young man's body, he used twist. In an instant, the seed demon that was flying at high speed stopped and returned to Lin Rei's side. AI. Lin Rei didn't want to say anything about this matter. However, the young man felt very embarrassed. Just now, he had sensed the presence of danger. However, the danger disappeared in an instant. He knew that Lin Rei had a part to play in this. The male emperor who landed beside Lin Rei said to Lin Rei with an embarrassed expression, "I'm sorry, Brother Lei. I didn't know." "Alright, that's enough. Hurry up and go to Lin Tian." Before he could finish speaking, the feeling that made Lin Rei's heart palpitate appeared again. This time, Lin Rei was sure that he was ashamed of the person who cultivated the soul art. This feeling was still fresh in his memory, as if it had happened yesterday. Tendo Seed Demon. In an instant, the seed demon dashed out of his palm and flew toward a tree not far away after sensing the source of the palpitation. The seed demon's speed was extremely fast. It was so fast that Lin Rei felt ashamed of his own inferiority. At the same time, the seed demon was a shapeless thing. Even if he approached it, he wouldn't notice anything wrong. Chapter 474. Bang! A loud noise came from the front, but strangely, there was nothing unusual there. How could this be? Seeing this, Lin Rei's heart pounded. He knew that his seed demon had failed. Lin Rei had to be careful in this situation. He didn't know the strength of the other party. Although he knew that no one in the lower world could cultivate to the immortal venerable realm, it was inevitable that there would be some unusual existences, such as himself. Suddenly, another sound that made Lin Rei's heart tremble was heard. It was like the sound of an ancient corpse from the Nine Nether, which made people feel terrified. Immediately, Lin Rei waved his hand and slashed out a ray of sword chi in the direction of the sound. However, the same thing happened this time. The sword chi slashed at an ancient tree not far away. The ancient tree fell to the ground with a loud bang, causing the ground to tremble. The continuous bombardment was dodged by that thing. It was the first time that such a situation had happened. At the same time, Lin Rei felt very aggrieved. Damn it, at least show your face. You're making me lose face. Although he said that, he didn't dare to slack off for a moment. Because he knew that if he didn't pay attention, that person would have an opportunity to take advantage of. At that time, it was hard to say who would live and who would die. His body tensed up. With the sword Qi in his left hand and the seed demon in his right hand, Lin Rei, who was fully prepared, released his spiritual strength again, increasing the temptation to the mysterious person. Boom, a vast amount of spiritual energy was released from his body, spreading out in all directions. For a moment, all of the living beings in the forest, upon sensing Lin Li's spiritual energy, were frozen to the spot. There was no power at all. Aside from being able to nourish their bodies, it also had a great effect on their cultivation. Whoosh, suddenly, a sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Lin Rei, who had been observing all the strange phenomena around him, felt the movement behind him. Without hesitation, he slashed the sword Qi that had been condensed in the air. The speed was so fast that it was unpredictable. Lin Rei believed that even a cultivator at the same level as him couldn't dodge it. Bang, pfff, Lin Rei was overjoyed when he heard the strange sound. He turned around and looked at the person lying on the ground not far away. This person was wearing a black hat and didn't look very tall. He was dressed in black and gave off a cold aura that made people shudder. Ta! Ta! Step by step, Lin Rei walked towards the black-clothed man with vigilance. The vigilance in his eyes made Lin Tian and the young man extremely shocked. This kind of vigilant expression was something they had seen before. Even in the immortal world, other than entering some secret realms, there was no one else who could make the god in their hearts reveal such an expression. At this moment, the two of them were nervous. Their eyes were fixed on Lin Rei's actions. It would not be good for them to do anything. Did he faint? At this moment, Lin Rei came to the black-clothed man's side. He was shocked when he saw that the black-clothed man didn't have any aura. According to common sense, it was impossible for a person to not have any aura. Even he himself couldn't do it, let alone an ant who hadn't even reached the earthly immortal realm. Sigh, I don't care anymore. I'd better hurry up and plant the seed demon. Lin Rei couldn't figure it out. He gave up searching for the black-clothed man. Then, the seed demon that he had prepared earlier rushed towards the black-clothed man. However, something unexpected happened at this moment. Whoosh! Just as the seed demon was about to reach the black-clothed man, the man who had fainted suddenly changed his movement and fled towards the distance with great speed. It was so fast that Lin Rei was caught unprepared. Damn! No way! This is the second seed demon. If it doesn't work, then it's really over for us. 2 seconds after the black-clothed man fled, Lin Rei came to his senses. Then, he unleashed his immortal venerable cultivation and chased after the black-clothed man. Rumble, rumble, suddenly, the space started to shake as if it was about to collapse. Lin Rei, who was chasing after the black-clothed man, didn't slow down. Instead, he sped up and chased after the black-clothed man at full speed. Boy, are you crazy? This is not the immortal realm. Do you want this world to collapse by unleashing your full cultivation here? The sudden roar made Lin Rei even more anxious. Looking at the fleeing figure in front of him, Lin Rei thought about the little dragon's words. Lin Rei was in a dilemma for a moment. However, he was about to catch the black-clothed man. If he gave up now, he would miss the opportunity and it would be difficult to catch him in the future. He was struggling in his mind. On one hand, he should restrain his cultivation. On the other hand, he should chase after the black-clothed man. The two thoughts were in a fierce battle. In the end, the latter won. Okay, don't say any more. I know, but I can't give up. If I don't succeed this time, I will leave. This thing is here. It's a threat to the entire Tianxian continent. So, I will catch it. Whoosh! In an instant, Lin Rei's speed increased again. In the blink of an eye, he was running side by side with the black-clothed man. Humph, boy, I've suffered 3 losses at your hands. You should be proud. Let me play with you next. As he spoke, Linley, with a devilish smile on his face, suddenly turned around and lashed out with a whip kick at the black-clothed man. Bang! After a loud sound, the black-clothed man was sent flying in a parabola in the distance until he finally smashed into the ground. Perhaps it was because Lin Rei was unhappy, but he sent the black-clothed man flying 100 meters away. He fell to the ground and rolled for a few dozen meters before coming to a stop. Pooh! A mouthful of blood spurted from the black-clothed man's mouth. The hat that was originally on his head fell off at this moment, revealing the man's shocked face. It was a head that looked like a porcelain doll. His face was extremely delicate, like a work of art. His mouth was so small that it was mesmerizing. However, because he vomited blood, the boy's face was pale. At the same time, there were traces of blood at the corner of his mouth. His appearance was extremely distressing. When this scene appeared, Lin Rei suddenly felt that he was very bad. At the same time, what shocked Lin Rei was that the boy in front of him should not be more than 15 years old. Looking at his size, he should be around 11 or 12 years old. TSK, you must be joking. An 11 or 12-year-old boy actually has such powerful strength. If I didn't use the power of the celestial supremacy, I'm afraid, the more he thought about it, the more aggrieved Lin Rei felt. He never thought that he would be tormented by a child one day. Furthermore, this torment was not clear. Humph, what do you think? People who cultivate the soul mantra are extremely terrifying. Back in the beginning of the Eldritch Age, there was a person who cultivated the soul mantra. Back then, the Eldritch Age was extremely dark. Therefore, you should pray that this is a child. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to speak to me now. When the system's mocking voice entered Lin Rei's ears, Lin Rei was instantly stunned. However, he did not refute it. Following which, he took a few steps forward. In a few breaths, Lin Rei was already in front of the boy. Looking at him, Lin Rei's heart was filled with melancholy. That's enough. If only it was my son. At the very least, I wouldn't let him cultivate such a cruel mantra. Although this was what he thought, it was impossible. Following which, the seed demon that was prepared was instantly shot into the boy's body by Lin Rei. With a whoosh, an invisible sound broke through the air. It came quickly and left quickly. The sound disappeared in an instant. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. The seed demon has successfully entered the boy's body. The system's cold voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei's heart was filled with joy. Hee, I finally succeeded. Looking at the boy who was lying on the ground and had fainted from vomiting blood, Lin Rei hurriedly crouched down and carried him in his arms. Then, he walked towards Lin Tian. At the same time, seeing that the battle had naturally ended, Lin Tian and the male emperor instantly walked out and joined up with Lin Rei. Young master, give him to me. Lin Tian, who came to Lin Rei's side, hurriedly said to Lin Rei. At the same time, Lin Tian's hands had already held the boy in Lin Rei's arms. Looking at the little boy who was like a porcelain doll, Lin Tian and the male emperor didn't dare to make any moves. They had clearly seen the scene just now. There weren't many people who could withstand 3 moves from Lin Rei, and the little boy in front of them was indeed one of them. Although it was somewhat unreal, it had already happened. Let's go. Everything here is done. We should also leave. When we return to the immortal realm, I will send someone to send your family members to the sect. As for us, At this point, Lin Rei paused and glanced at the little boy in Lin Tian's arms. His originally hesitant expression instantly turned resolute as he said, "I will transcend my tribulation in the Valley of Immortals in the endless mountain range." After saying that, Lin Rei walked forward. When Lin Tian, who was carrying the boy, heard his young master's words, he was momentarily stunned. He didn't expect his young master to bring such a little boy into the immortal realm. This made him unable to believe it. At the same time, he also knew that his strength was lacking. Although he thought this way, he still obeyed Lin Rei's orders. Lin Rei's orders were like his life. The three of them didn't speak along the way. Soon, under the lead of the boy, they arrived at the place where the boy's family members were. At this moment, Dongwen had already woken up. The moment he saw Lin Rei, Dongwen immediately stood up in excitement. When Lin Rei walked in, he instantly knelt on the ground and fiercely kowtowed to Lin Rei. The sound of his kowtowing was so loud that it made Lin Rei somewhat stunned. Bang, bang, bang. The sound resounded in this space. Suddenly, the loud sound pulled Lin Rei's attention back to reality. You can't, hurry up and get up. This is unacceptable. Chapter 475. Lin Rei, who had regained his senses, hurriedly stepped forward to help him up. His flustered look warmed the heart of the male emperor, who was beside him. No, you saved me. At the same time, you helped my son achieve what he is today. You are the benefactor of the Dong family. You are our benefactor. His eyes were filled with respect and he wanted to kowtow again. Lin Rei, who could not bear it, said sternly, "If you do this again, I won't care anymore. My son is my brother. It's normal for me to help him. You are my son's father, which means you are my family. Therefore, there's no need to do these superficial things between family members." After saying that, a stream of pure immortal qi instantly appeared on Dongwen's knees. Then, it lifted him up. When the male emperor saw this, he hurriedly went forward to help his father up. He also cast a grateful look at Lin Rei. "All right, brother, hurry and help your father heal. I'm afraid we can't leave today. It won't be too late for us to leave tomorrow when your father's injuries are better." As he spoke, a bottle of pills appeared in Lin Rei's hand. He threw it to the male emperor and brought him to the side without saying anything. Seeing this, the male emperor did not disturb them. He took the pills and helped his father to the side to start healing. As for Dong Qing's family and the male emperor's mother, the four of them walked to the side and started a fire to prepare for dinner. "All right, Xiao Tian, you must be tired. Give him to me and go rest." Lin Rei, who had come to the side, said to Lin Tian. He stretched out his hand to take the male emperor into his arms and placed him on the ground. "Okay, got it." Hearing Lin Rei's words, Lin Tian did not resist. Instead, he obediently agreed and walked to the side to sit down. He closed his eyes and fell into a deep sleep. After everything was quiet, Lin Rei smiled and came to the male emperor's side. His finger, which was filled with immortal qi, touched the male emperor's neck. The unconscious male emperor woke up. Although the tyrannical aura on his body was still there, it was much better than before. "He's awake?" Lin Rei, who was sitting to the side, didn't say anything else after speaking to the child. Instead, he waited for the boy's reply. There was a moment of silence. It was so quiet that Lin Rei felt a little helpless. He had originally wanted the boy to respond, but now he was thinking too much. "Tell me." Although the boy was already awake, he didn't seem to want to tell him half of the story. Finally, Lin Rei couldn't help but ask. "What's your name? Where's your family? Why are you here? And why are you cultivating the soul art?" After a series of questions were asked by Lin Rei, the room was still very quiet. After seeing that the boy's silence was golden, Lin Rei was very unhappy. Just as Linley was about to open his mouth and force him to do so, an extremely cold voice, one so cold that it was as though one had walked through 10,000 years of ice, spoke out. Kill the heavens. Kill the heavens? After hearing the boy say his name, Lin Rei repeated it and was shocked. This name was too awesome. Kill the heavens, there was actually someone in this world with such a name. I don't have parents, so I'm an orphan. As for the reason why I'm here, I don't know. Since I can remember, I've been fighting with the monsters here. As for the soul art you mentioned, I don't know. But I think you should be talking about the energy in my body. The cold voice sounded again. The information in his words made Lin Rei sympathize with him. He didn't know that this child had such an experience. That's right. Where did the energy in your body come from? From what I know, this energy shouldn't appear here. In the end, Lin Rei was most interested in the soul art energy in the boy's body. I don't know. This energy was unintentionally used by me. It can make me stronger, so, speaking until here, kill the heavens didn't continue because Lin Rei already knew what he was going to say. Oh? Is that so? Hearing kill the heavens answer, Lin Rei was very disappointed. He originally thought that he would be able to find the soul art, but he didn't expect it to be an eggshell without the heart. However, it was still okay. At least he had subdued someone who had made him fail several times. This could be considered an unexpected gain. I understand. You will follow me from now on. Also, don't use your energy casually, especially to your own people. Hearing this, Kill the Heaven's eyes were slightly stunned. He then replied without hesitation, okay, I understand. If there's nothing else, I'll go to sleep first. After saying that, Xiaotian went to the side and instantly fell into a deep sleep. Linley's heart ached when he saw this. Looking at how a 12-year-old child was able to live in the forest, Linley knew that Xiaotian must have gone through a lot of hardships. Lin Rei didn't say anything and chose to rest. Lin Rei and the other two fell into a deep sleep. Although this was the forest, Lin Rei didn't think that any demonic beasts would dare to approach this place unless they didn't want their lives. As for the boy, he didn't sleep either. Because he knew that he would be leaving tomorrow, he didn't stop healing his father. The sun set and a bright moon hung high in the sky. The moonlight shone on the forest, making it seem like the forest was covered in white clothes. It was very mysterious and noble. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, it was the morning of the second day. The sun gradually rose into the sky and shone on everyone's faces. At this moment, Lin Rei had already woken up. Looking at the morning sky, Lin Rei felt very relaxed. He stood up and lowered his head to look at Lin Tian and Kill the Heavens. Lin Rei didn't hurry to call them. Instead, he left alone and walked towards the depths of the forest. On the other side, the boy was sitting at the side and recovering. As for Dongwan, he was probably a little tired after a night of recovery. At this moment, Dongwan had already fallen into a deep sleep. Not long after, Linley returned. He was carrying a huge demonic beast on his shoulder, looking extremely miserable. How much had this poor demonic beast suffered in its lifetime to end up like this? With a loud bang, everyone who was sleeping in their dreams woke up at this moment. Who is it? Can't you let me sleep? An impatient voice rang out. Instantly, everyone's gaze turned towards the voice, including Linley's. When he saw the younger brother, Dong Tiancheng, Lin Rei's eyes showed a trace of killing intent. This wasn't the first time he heard such words. However, for the sake of his younger brother, Lin Rei didn't make a move. As for Lin Tian, when he wanted to kill Dong Tiancheng, he was stopped by Lin Rei. Forget it. A great person won't hold a grudge against a petty person. Moreover, he's the younger brother of my younger brother. After saying that, Lin Tian, who had already stood up, sat back down. However, he couldn't control the killing intent on his body and it was rolling towards Dong Tiancheng. Lin Rei didn't care about this. As long as he didn't kill, he wouldn't interfere. Then, Lin Rei, who didn't care about anyone else, went to the side. A blood-red flame appeared instantly. The temperature of the surrounding space increased the moment the flame appeared. In the end, the surrounding air was almost burning. In an instant, the flame reached the body of the giant demonic beast and began to burn quietly. As time passed, the demonic beast that was originally filled with blood slowly emitted a fragrant smell. When the surrounding people smelled it, they couldn't help but salivate. Their throats squirmed as they swallowed their saliva. In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. Originally, there was only the fragrance from time to time, but at this moment, it was still very fragrant. The flame in Lin Rei's hand was also retracted. Hee, little Tian, Sha Tian, quickly come and eat. After we finish eating, let's leave quickly. After waving his hand to Lin Tian and Dong Tiancheng, who had been gossiping for a long time, he tore off a piece of fat meat and stuffed it into his mouth without caring about the influence of the immortal prime. The meat of a demonic beast was not like that of an ordinary beast. Every piece of meat in its body carried traces of spiritual qi. Similarly, demonic beasts paid the most attention to their physical bodies. Therefore, although the meat of demonic beasts was slightly hard, it didn't feel greasy at all and it tasted very delicious. Awu, n. A strange sound was heard. Immediately, Lin Rei hurriedly looked over. At this moment, Lin Rei was no longer concerned about eating. Instead, Sha Tian had entered the demonic beast's stomach and began to gnaw from the inside out. He looked very cute. However, Lin Rei's eyes were red and he began to eat quickly. When Lin Tian saw this scene, he was very happy. He revealed a happy smile and prayed in his heart. I hope this can last forever. Young master can be happy forever. As for Dong Tiancheng and the others, because of their previous words and actions, they didn't dare to get close to Lin Rei. As for Dong Tiancheng, he was still recovering his spiritual qi. Time passed by slowly. In the blink of an eye, more than half an hour had passed. Originally, there were 5 demonic beasts, but under the joint attack of Lin Rei and Sha Tian, they were nearing the end. Brat, this is mine. It's much harder for you to eat it. Lin Rei complained. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that at this moment, everyone's eyes were on the two of them. Humph, who said that? I'm the one who grabbed it. Moreover, how old are you? I'm only 11 years old. Haven't you heard of the saying the big one should let the small one live until old? A stubborn voice that didn't give Lin Rei any face sounded. The voice was filled with coldness. Humph, this is my territory and I'm the boss. Therefore, this thing is mine. At this moment, Lin Rei and Sha Tian were fighting over a big bone with meat in their hands. They looked like they were going to teach them a lesson if they didn't let them have it. The scene was very funny. Humph, no, this is mine. Chapter 476. In order to save face, Lin Rei could only hand over the food to Sha Tian. Although he was unwilling, he had no choice. Sha Tian was at an advantageous age. Hee, you should have done this earlier. You made me snatch it for you. I have digested a lot of the food I ate before. Sha Tian, who got the meat, looked at Lin Rei with an expression that said, "It's all your fault." You, looking at Shaishan's expression, no matter how angry he was, he couldn't bear to hit him. However, other than not being able to smile, everything about him, whether it was his appearance or his cultivation, made people jealous. Okay, hurry up and eat. I will bring you to a place where you will forget to leave. There will be something even better than barbecued meat. Lin Rei said to Sha Tian. Then, he walked to the center of the crowd and said, "Brother, when we enter the tunnel, use your immortal qi to protect them. With their cultivation, it is very difficult for them to ascend to the immortal realm." Okay, got it. Hearing Lin Li's words, the male emperor nodded solemnly, then returned to the side of his family, a nervous look in his eyes. Okay, let's go. Lin Rei, who had done everything last night, saw that Sha Tian had finished eating the meat. Then, Lin Rei took out the system and threw it on the ground. Boom! There was a loud explosion and a terrifying suction force instantly appeared. Lin Rei, Lin Tian, and Sha Tian were fine. After all, their cultivation was strong. However, the others were not the same. Ah! A miserable shriek came from Dong Tiancheng's mouth. Then, a figure flashed by and quickly flew into the vortex. Quick, catch him! Lin Rei stared at this scene. Letting a cultivator who wasn't even at the Mahayana realm enter the tunnel was no different than courting death. Fortunately, the Empress was already prepared for any unexpected situations. Just as Dong Tiancheng was about to enter the tunnel, a big hand that had always made him feel very warm suddenly grabbed him. Dong Tiancheng was about to enter the tunnel when a big hand that had always made him feel very warm suddenly grabbed him. At this moment, Dong Tiancheng was scared out of his wits. What was even more embarrassing was that the area between Dong Tiancheng's legs was wet. When Lin Rei saw this scene, a feeling of disgust arose spontaneously. He felt that this was a bit inconceivable. They were clearly brothers, but why were these two so different? One was bold and daring, while the other was. Thinking of this, Lin Rei didn't continue thinking about it. Anyway, this matter had nothing to do with him. Moreover, the chances of meeting in the future were very slim. Alright, get up quickly. At this moment, the Empress, who had already returned to a safe place, spoke to her younger brother who was still lying on the ground in fear. Oh. Although Dong Tiancheng agreed, his body didn't have any intention of moving. This scene made the young man feel so ashamed that he couldn't show his face. Sigh, that's enough, little brother. In order to not make things difficult for the boys, in the end, she decided to put them into the system. Whoosh! In an instant, the man's family all disappeared from the sky. They were all taken into the system space by Lin Rei. Let's go. After doing all this, Lin Rei smiled and patted the Empress beside him. Then, he took the lead and entered the tunnel, disappearing from the mysterious sky continent. This time, he was really going to bid farewell to this place. Let's go. When Lin Tian saw Lin Rei leave, she followed closely behind. After saying this to the young man, she took Sha Tian and entered the tunnel. The young man was right behind her. Just like that, their trip to the mysterious sky continent ended. However, they didn't know that their return had caused a huge commotion in the central region of the mysterious sky continent. Because of the aura released by the young man, all the cultivators in the central region thought that a strong cultivator had appeared. Those who were in seclusion or training all rushed to the central region to see the aura of a strong cultivator. A month later, everyone left the central region in disappointment. They returned to their respective sects and took up their positions. In the western part of the immortal world, in the endless mountain range, there was a valley in a paradise. The sounds of birds and beasts chirping could be heard. This place was full of flowers and spirit herbs, giving people a peaceful feeling. However, it was completely different once they left the valley. The valley was filled with demonic beasts of various levels. Almost every demonic beast was the size of a small mountain. They had ferocious eyes and fangs, and they could faintly smell the scent of blood from a few miles away. There were countless bones on the ground. Some were human, some were monster. The whole scene made people's hair stand on end. The aura of each monster was very strong and their roars were endless. However, it was precisely in this endless danger zone that there was a place where one could settle down and settle down. Whoosh! At this moment, in the originally peaceful valley, a whirlpool appeared. It stirred up the surrounding immortal chi. Awu! Awu! The appearance of the whirlpool caused the entire endless mountain range to become restless. The cries of the beasts continued. The cultivators who were supposed to be training in the endless mountain range were frightened by the roars of the beasts and directly retreated. Whoosh! Whoosh! 4 figures rushed out of the whirlpool and arrived in the Valley of Immortals. At the same time, the whirlpool disappeared. Valley of Immortals, I'm back. At this moment, a man was looking around at everything around him. Although there were many changes compared to when he left, it was because many spiritual medicines had grown here. Lin Rei, didn't you say there was delicious food here? I've been in the tunnel for more than a month. I'm starving. I eat your pills every day. Don't you know? I'm almost scared to death of them. A very discordant voice rang out, instantly shattering that bit of gentleness in Linley's heart. Look at you. You're a child and you don't admit it. You only think about eating every day. The 4 of them were talking about Lin Rei, who had just returned from the mysterious Heavens continent. Originally, Lin Rei wanted to directly teleport to the Xuanzong sect. However, after thinking about it, Lin Rei thought about the Valley of Immortals that he and Old Yuan had discovered when they first arrived in the immortal realm. They immediately located the location and came here. Tisk! At this moment, Sha Tian jumped down from Lin Tian's body and rolled his eyes at Lin Rei. Then, he went to the side and squatted on the ground without saying a word. Looking at Xiaofan's expression, Lin Rei smiled and said to Lin Tian and the male emperor. Alright, you guys go and catch some demonic beasts. It's best if they're of the heavy class. I'm afraid this guy won't have enough to eat. You only know how to talk about me. Aren't you the same? As soon as Lin Rei finished speaking, Sha Tian retorted unhappily. Instantly, the entire Valley of Immortals quieted down. I'll go with Lin Tian first. You guys take your time to chat. Seeing that the atmosphere wasn't right, the young man hurriedly said to Lin Rei and dragged Lin Tian away. What's wrong? In the valley, Lin Tian, who was being dragged away by the young man, asked the young man with a puzzled expression. Nothing. Let's go. Hearing Lin Tian's question, the young man was stunned for a moment. Then, he didn't say much and brought Lin Tian into the depths of the Valley of Immortals. At this moment, in the valley, seeing that Lin Tian and the young man had left, Lin Rei's expression returned to normal. He glared at Sha Tian with a pair of tiger-like eyes and had the urge to rush up and eat him. TSK, you don't have to be like this. You're old. Just stare. When I grow up, I will definitely not lose to you. When that time comes, let's see if you still dare to bully me. Hearing Xiaofan's words, Lin Rei wanted to cry and laugh at the same time. Okay, I'll wait. After saying that, Lin Rei walked to the side and sat on the ground. Then, he entered a meditative state. Kid, I didn't expect you to be angered by an 11-year-old kid. TSK. In the system, Lin Rei, who was in a meditative state, came to the system. He didn't expect to hear the little dragon's voice as soon as he entered. Rolling his eyes, Lin Rei couldn't refute the little dragon's words because it wasn't necessary. He knew that no matter what he said, he couldn't win against the little dragon. In the end, he would only make things worse for himself. Looking at Lin Rei's silent expression, the little dragon revealed a bitter expression. Sigh, this is too boring. You don't even know how to joke with me. That's more like it. Looking at the little dragon's expression, Lin Rei was overjoyed. This was the first time he KO'd the little dragon with words. Alright, since you've returned to the divine realm, hurry up and advance to the divine realm. You don't have much time left. Okay. Looking at the little dragon's serious expression, Lin Rei immediately put away his playful nature and began to treat it seriously. To advance to the divine realm, one must release all of their cultivation. Ordinary people would have to undergo a terrifying thunder tribulation. As long as they passed the thunder tribulation, they would be guided to the divine realm. But you're different. Because of the chaos scripture, you don't need to undergo the thunder tribulation. As long as you release your cultivation, you'll be guided. Of course, let me tell you something about cheating. At this point, the little dragon's voice was filled with mockery. Sneakily, it came to Lin Rei's side and said, when you're guided to the divine realm, you'll have unimaginable benefits. Besides, the system will also give you double the EXP. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei was instantly stunned. If what the little dragon said was true, then breaking through to the divine realm wouldn't be a problem. Just as Lin Rei was feeling happy, the little dragon's voice sounded again. Of course, you're already at the celestial venerable stage. Advancing to the divine realm is just a matter of taking a step, so it won't be a problem for you. But, at this point, the little dragon stopped. What scared Lin Rei was that the little dragon's smile contained a trace of evil that terrified him. However, after breaking through to the divine realm, before entering the divine realm, I'll seal all of your spiritual roots, aptitude, and comprehension. Chapter 477. You. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei frowned. He kept saying you and you, but in the end, he calmed himself down. Little dragon, you can't do this. You know that in order to join a sect, one needs spiritual roots and talent. You sealed all these for me. Isn't this clearly a prank? Lin Rei's eyes were filled with grievances. He wasn't the same, so he was looked down upon the moment he went up. Moreover, the most important thing was the mission. Thinking about the mission, Lin Rei couldn't help but want to scold the system. Don't even think about it. Since the mission has been issued and you have accepted it, there is no chance to change it. So just accept your fate. After speaking, Lin Rei wanted to say something else, but the little dragon had already disappeared in front of Lin Rei. Go away, it's just a joke. Seeing that the little dragon had disappeared, Lin Rei began to complain in the system. Wang. Just as Lin Rei was complaining, the food in front of him suddenly changed. Xiaofan appeared. After sensing everything around him, Lin Rei was helpless. You didn't expect me to leave the system, right? How shameless. After saying that, Lin Rei had no choice. It was already a foregone conclusion. It was even harder to regret. In the end, Lin Rei resigned himself to fate. At this moment, Lin Tian and the male emperor, who had gone out, returned. However, there was nothing in their hands. Why, where's the meat? Where's my meat? Before Lin Rei could say anything, Xiaofan, who had been squatting on the ground, was no longer willing. He didn't care who the other party was and immediately stood up and shouted at Lin Tian and the Empress. When this scene appeared, Lin Rei, who was originally depressed, instantly revealed a smile. Alright, stop fooling around. Hurry up and give the meat to this little guy. Lin Rei didn't believe that they couldn't get the demon beast. Yes, young master. The Empress, who originally wanted to scold Xiaofan, heard Lin Rei's words. Lin Tian, who was beside him, immediately took out the roasted demon beast meat from his storage ring and handed it to Xiaofan. Whoosh! Xiaofan broke through the air. At this moment, Xiaofan's speed was extremely fast. Before Lin Tian could feel it, the meat in his hand had disappeared. When he reacted, he realized that not far away, Xiaofan was gnawing on a demon beast that was a few times larger than him. Hee, this kid. Looking at the innocent assassin who only knew how to eat, Linli grew more and more fond of him. Alright, when he's done eating, I'll prepare to ascend to the divine realm. At that time, I'll put you in a space. Once I reach the divine realm, I'll release you. Hearing this, Lin Tian and the other man immediately beamed with joy. Their brows relaxed, and their eyes were filled with excitement. Alright, we'll listen to you. Alright. Lin Rei waved his hand and 6 people appeared in front of him. One of them was the younger brother's family and one of the members of the Shura clan. Big brother. The moment Dong Wen's family appeared, the sharp-eyed Dong Tiancheng saw the younger brother and called out. Yes. As for the male brother, when he saw his younger brother's appearance, he coldly nodded his head and did not say anything else. Dong Tiancheng was stunned by this and returned to his original spot with a deflated expression. Blood 36, they are Elder Dong's family. Send them to the Xuanzong Sect and explain everything to Yun Er. As for you, you will stay in the Xuanzong Sect. When you break through and reach the God realm, I will wait for you there. Yes, young master. Blood 36 agreed quickly because Lin Rei's orders were his life. Meanwhile, Linli moved his gaze onto Dong Wen and said, Uncle Dong, you can follow him. When the time comes, my son will arrange for all of you to stay in the sect. From today onwards, all of you can cultivate properly in the sect. I hope we'll be able to meet again in the divine dimension. After speaking, Linli gave the male emperor a look. Then, he left with Lin Tian and returned to Xiaofan's side, leaving some space for the male emperor who was about to be separated. The younger brother understood Lin Rei's meaning and began to say goodbye to his family. Lin Rei actually cried when he saw the younger brother. Lin Rei felt very guilty. However, he didn't regret it. That was the only way the younger brother could become strong. That was the only way he wouldn't be bullied by others. That was the only way he could protect the people he wanted to protect. Time passed slowly. This time, Lin Rei didn't disturb them. Instead, he let them say their goodbyes. Half a day passed quickly. The moon was still hanging high in the sky. Beside him, Xiaofan and Lin Rei were looking at the sky quietly. Alright, mother, father, little brother. Once you are in the Xuanzong Sect, you must cultivate well. Don't slack off. I will wait for you in the God realm. After saying goodbye to his family, the younger brother walked towards Lin Rei. Are you done with your goodbyes? Sensing the commotion behind him, Linli turned around, only to see his younger brother arrive. He casually asked him this question. Yes, I'm done with my goodbyes. Linli was very pleased with how straightforward and decisive he was. He gave Blood 36, who had been waiting off to the side, a look, and instantly, the Blood 36 transformations appeared in front of Dong Wen and the others. A terrifying wave of immortal qi wrapped around them, and they left the Valley of Immortals. Everything returned to silence. The younger brother's eyes were wet when he saw his family leave. It's okay. We will meet again in the future. Furthermore, I believe that uncle will reach the God realm if he cultivates in the God realm. Lin Rei walked up and comforted his younger brother. When he arrived at the best place in the Valley of the Immortals, his expression turned serious. At this moment, the younger brother, who was originally sad and reluctant to part, hid his feelings of reluctance in his heart when he saw Lin Rei's actions. Everyone looked at Lin Rei quietly. They were envious that they would be able to break through the shackles of the God realm like Lin Rei. Relax your bodies. I will pull you into a space. This will allow you to avoid detection in the group. The moment these words entered Lin Tian and the other two's ears, the three of them instantly emptied their bodies. Little dragon, I'll leave them to you. I'm going to break through first. Lin Rei said to the little dragon in the system. Then, he released his peak immortal venerable cultivation base and caused the sky to tremble. Rumble, when the little dragon in the system heard Lin Rei's voice, it instantly rushed out of the pain. A terrifying soul force rushed out and enveloped the three of them, pulling them into the system. After everything was done, Lin Rei let go of himself. The bright moon was hanging high in the sky. Although the night was a little cold, there was a drastic change now. The sky was no longer black and the bright moon in the sky was gradually fading away. Golden light flashed as it gradually appeared above Linley's head. Everything in the surrounding area was covered in golden light, and it was extremely dazzling and beautiful. At the same time, a terrifying pressure appeared in an instant. The people who were sleeping or cultivating in seclusion in the west woke up instantly. They all walked out of their rooms and raised their heads to look at the endless mountain range. Because of the strong pressure, everyone in the west, regardless of whether they were ordinary people or cultivators, could feel it. For a moment, everyone was in a panic. Of course, this was only in the hearts of ordinary people. To the cultivators, everyone thought that this was the phenomenon of a divine object appearing in the world. However, they didn't know what was happening. At this moment, the endless mountain range was breaking through to the divine realm. Moreover, the person who was breaking through was Lin Rei of the Xuanzong Sect. At this moment, Lin Rei was sitting cross-legged in the Valley of Immortals. The blood vessels in his body had turned transparent, revealing the surface. Phew, after feeling the scorching aura, Lin Rei exhaled a mouthful of turbid air. Then, he quickly circulated the third stage of the Chaos Sutra. Originally, he could circulate 5 cycles per second. At this moment, Lin Rei forcibly increased it to 15 cycles per year. Regarding this, the little dragon in the system frowned. If Linley had known that a person who was able to circulate a major cycle for 3 months every year, he or she would already be considered a genius. But now, Linley had already circulated 15 cycles. To anyone, this was a form of injury, including Linley himself. But fortunately, Lin Rei's body was strong. Otherwise, he would have exploded and died. As he circulated one cycle after another, the surrounding immortal chi crazily rushed into Lin Rei's body. Motherf ***, this kid is crazy. Looking at Lin Rei's crazy actions, the little dragon frowned. He was in a dilemma. He didn't expect Lin Rei to be so crazy in order to break through. At this moment, the little dragon began to wonder if it was because he was pushing too hard. Swoosh! Just as Linley was breaking through at high speed, in the air above Linley's head, a golden pillar of light suddenly descended, enveloping Linley within it. The moment the golden light fell on Lin Rei's body, an indescribable feeling came from Lin Rei's body. The shackles that he couldn't break through all this time were loosened at this moment. Feeling all this, Lin Rei gave up on the immortal chi around him and instantly used the devouring heaven art. In an instant, a huge suction force emerged and began to devour the golden light around him. However, when Lin Rei saw this scene, he went crazy. For the sake of Lin Rei's safety, he didn't show up to stop it. But he still complained spontaneously. "You're too bold, aren't you? You actually dared to absorb the god's attraction light. You." The little dragon couldn't stop scolding. Arg! Lin Rei suddenly let out a roar. The transparent blood vessels around him instantly concealed themselves. However, at this moment, Lin Rei's aura was rapidly rising. A majestic and pure energy rushed out of Lin Rei's body and spread to the surroundings of the Valley of Immortals. Chapter 478. Bang, bang, a terrifying and destructive explosive energy instantly engulfed the entire endless mountain range. Awu! Awu! Miserable cries of demonic beasts were heard continuously. Their cries were filled with helplessness, hatred, and unwillingness. All kinds of emotions were completely released at this moment. Demonic beasts with higher cultivation levels were still able to escape from this energy. However, those with slightly lower cultivation levels were indeed instantly crushed to death by the energy. This scene was extremely terrifying. Tens of thousands of miles away, a tragic massacre had occurred at this moment. However, Lin Rei didn't know all of this. He was immersed in the pleasure of breaking through at this moment. At the entrance of the endless mountain range, cultivators of all levels had already surrounded it. There were even a few immortal emperors among them. However, when they heard the miserable cries of demonic beasts in the endless mountain range, they stopped. It wasn't that they didn't want to go, but the miserable cries forced them to stop. What's going on? What happened here? Why is it like this? At this moment, the eyes of the person at the front turned slightly purple. It was as if he could see through the endless mountain range. When he saw a small part of what happened in the endless mountain range, he was so frightened that he retreated again and again. In the end, he directly fell to the ground. Cold sweat flowed down his forehead and back unconsciously. His eyes were wide open. His expression was filled with fear, horror, and panic. His body was even trembling violently. This series of actions frightened the surrounding people. They didn't see what happened in the endless mountain range like the person who fell to the ground. However, from all the actions of the person who fell to the ground, they were scared. At this moment, a calm and composed man in sackcloth clothes who gave people a very comfortable feeling walked out and asked the terrified person on the ground. His gentle tone made the man on the ground feel a little better. There's no need for that. Tell me what happened inside. Why are you so frightened? The moment the man's gentle voice sounded, everyone's eyes focused on the man. Ah, Immortal Emperor Yan Chen. He's Immortal Emperor Yan Chen. This was a person who curiously knew the man. He suddenly exclaimed. Instantly, the whole crowd became restless. Let's listen to this fellow cultivator's explanation of what happened in the endless space. The Immortal Emperor's words were very prestigious in the crowd. Everyone quieted down and looked at the man sitting on the ground. Alas, since everyone wants to know so much, then I'll tell everyone. However, I have to advise all of you that you must not enter this place. As long as you enter, you will die and not even your ashes will be left behind. As soon as these words came out, everyone took a step back. Their eyes were filled with vigilance. For a high immortal cultivator to say such words, they were even more certain that something extremely terrifying must have happened here. Just like that, seeing that everyone was silent, the man faintly told them everything he had seen in the endless space. A few minutes later, the man finished his speech. At this moment, everyone's foreheads were covered in cold sweat, and they looked terrified. How can this be? This kind of power shouldn't appear here. When Yan Chen heard the man's words, he instantly became silent. Although he was an immortal emperor, he knew that he didn't have the strength to do so. Alright, everyone hurry up and leave this place. This isn't a place where we can stay. After Immortal Emperor Yan Chen spoke, he instantly released his cultivation and disappeared into the endless entrance, disappearing into the horizon. Damn, the Immortal Emperor is not here. Then what are we still doing here? One of the men who looked very wretched saw Yan Chen leaving and immediately shouted towards the sky. Then, he fled into the distance. Humans were all selfish. Seeing one person leave one after another, everyone no longer felt that there were any treasures in the endless space. Everyone fled with their fastest speed. The originally bustling entrance of the endless space became desolate at this moment. Day and night alternated. 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, the golden light in the sky remained for more than a month. As for what happened in the endless space, the moment Yen Chen and the others left, it was spread across the entire immortal world. From then on, the endless space was listed as a high-class forbidden area. However, although it was a high-class forbidden area, there were still some people who wanted to enter and explore. As the saying goes, wealth comes from danger. How could there be no danger if you wanted treasures? But in the end, it was all in vain. They left the endless space empty-handed and even suffered serious injuries. In the endless valley of immortals, Lin Rei, who was in the middle, was currently emitting a majestic energy. His whole body was wrapped in a mysterious and destructive energy. The golden light around him was still continuing. Damn, what does this kid want? He has already broken through to the true God realm. How much longer does he want to break through? At this moment, the little dragon in the system anxiously looked at Lin Rei's actions. He didn't understand what Lin Rei wanted to do when he had already broken through to the true God realm. However, the fatter little dragon was worried that the pillar of light was gradually dimming. If he didn't ascend quickly, he was afraid that it would be very troublesome in the future. If it really comes down to it, I don't care what kind of host you are. I'll just throw you into the guidance. In the end, the little dragon decided that if Lin Rei didn't wake up at the last moment of the guidance, he would take action. Although it was a little rude, there was no other way. This was all Lin Rei's own fault. Time passed little by little. 3 days had passed. At this moment, the golden light around Lin Rei's body was even more intense than 3 days ago. Moreover, what made the little dragon puzzled was that today, when he was about to take action, a golden figure suddenly appeared beside Lin Rei. Although the appearance was very vague, he could feel that it was a living person. Moreover, its cultivation was no different from Lin Rei's. Doppelganger Dao Heaven Spell. A cry of surprise came out of Xiaolong's mouth, and his eyes were filled with a thought-provoking smile. Hee, this kid actually hid such a crazy thing from me. There's really nothing that can hold you back. Seeing this scene, the little dragon didn't grumble like before. Instead, he quietly shut his gossipy mouth. After knowing that Lin Rei was cultivating his doppelganger, time passed little by little. At this moment, the original shadow beside Lin Rei slowly solidified. Pfff, suddenly, a mouthful of blood was spat out by Lin Rei without warning. However, the slightly purple blood didn't fall to the ground. Instead, it seemed to be fixed by something and was directly transferred to the shadow's doppelganger beside him through a specific path. Pfff, then, 2 large mouthfuls of blood were spat out. In the end, all the blood was absorbed into the body of the doppelganger beside him. At this moment, a miracle happened. After the slightly purple blood entered the doppelganger's body, it began to evolve into spiritual veins one after another. It began to spread within the doppelganger. First, it spread from the heart to the limbs, then to the brain and various other organs. At this moment, except for the fact that there was no flesh and blood, this doppelganger was no different from a living person. Thump thump. Thump thump, a familiar sound fell into Lin Rei's ears. At this moment, a pair of eyes that had been closed for a long time opened at this moment. Swish! A golden light instantly rushed out of the restraint of the eye sockets and directly hit the mountain rocks in front of him. With a loud bang, the rocks that were hit by the golden light instantly exploded. Ah, finally done. I didn't expect this doppelganger to be so difficult to cultivate. It took me so long to form it. Looking at the doppelganger beside him that was full of meridians, Lin Rei's mouth slightly curved into a smile, revealing a trace of joy. However, his eyes showed no signs of relaxing. Boom! the illusory spirit blood fire suddenly appeared. At this moment, the surrounding experience instantly withered and finally became drops of pure blood. Using my blood as a guide, cast. Lin Rei suddenly shouted behind him. Along with the golden light, spirit herbs and spirit treasures appeared in the blink of an eye and automatically entered the illusory spirit blood fire to be refined. PFFF. Lin Rei's eyes did not dare to be careless as he looked at all the heavenly treasures in the flame related to refining the doppelganger. Seeing the heavenly treasures dissolve little by little, Lin Rei's heart finally relaxed a little. Thump thump. The sound of his heartbeat came little by little, causing Lin Rei's motivation to become even stronger. Hee, I'm really looking forward to it. Looking at Lin Rei, who was about to succeed and create another doppelganger, the smile on his face could not stop. Time passed little by little, and at this moment, Lin Rei's refinement of the heavenly treasures in his hand had reached the final critical point. Only one more step was needed to complete it. PFFF. Suddenly, Lin Rei's empty hand lightly patted his own chest. After that, a mouthful of heart blood instantly sprayed out and was transferred to the doppelganger's heart. Drink, scorch. After a loud shout, the illusory spirit blood fire suddenly increased the intensity of the fire. The spiritual liquid that carried the heavenly treasures was instantly injected into the doppelganger's body. The raging illusory spirit blood fire began to burn on the doppelganger's body. Ah! A roar came out from the doppelganger's mouth. Immediately, Lin Rei's brows raised in joy. Then, he increased the intensity of the fire. Time passed little by little. The doppelganger that originally only had meridians now had 4 limbs, a body, and even a head. At this moment, the doppelganger was simply a copy of Lin Rei. No, the two of them were exactly the same. Even if Ouyang Jing stood here, he would not be able to recognize that the two of them were his son, Lin Rei. Looking at his doppelganger taking shape, Lin Rei's heart finally fell to the ground. Deity! A magnetic voice rang out, and for a moment, Lin Li was stunned. This voice, this face, this figure, this level of training. Motherf asterisk Ker, this is me. Chapter 479. Not bad at all. The more Lin Rei looked at his clone, the more he liked it. At this moment, his clone was like a mirror of himself. He. Lin Rei couldn't help but stare blankly at his clone. He didn't know what was going on in his head. Saliva was dripping from the corner of his mouth as he looked at his clone with a silly smile. Main body, is there something on Emperor's face? The clone had its own thoughts. This was the secret of the heavenly clone technique. If a man was constantly being observed by another man and even had saliva dripping from his mouth, it would be hard not to think of something bad. Right now, the clone, being stared at by Lin Li's naked gaze, felt all the hairs on its body stand on end. It couldn't help but speak out. Oh. Lin Li, who had been pulled back to reality by his clone's voice, instantly realized how strange he was. Naturally, he wiped his mouth, wiping away the saliva at the corner of his mouth, then said calmly to his clone. All right. Clone, the main body is about to ascend to the celestial realm. Of course, you are also in the true God realm now. However, our imaginations are too similar, so, Lin Rei had a headache about the imaginations of the two of them. He had calculated everything, but he hadn't calculated that the two of them would look the same. After speaking, Lin Rei's divine sense entered the system and extorted the little dragon. In the end, he got a face mask called the Half Moon from the little dragon. However, what made Lin Rei puzzled was that this face mask was a middle-grade divine artifact. Moreover, its functions were exactly what Lin Rei wanted. Here, this is the divine artifact Half Moon. Once you bring it along, it will be under your control. Once you bring it along, I will enter the sect, and you can choose a sect to join. I believe that with the support of your spirit root, as well as your perception, your talent will be top-notch. When the time comes, there will definitely be sects fighting over you. At this point, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel jealous of his clone. Thinking about his own mission, Lin Rei had a headache. Alright, got it. The clone nodded obediently, then took the mask from Lin Li's hands and put it on his face. Instantly, the aura of the clone, which had been warm and gentle, instantly changed. His original gentleness had turned into a murderous aura that made people not dare to approach him. Not bad at all. Looking at the doppelganger's current appearance, Lin Rei was becoming more and more satisfied with his doppelganger. Here, this is for you. Lin Rei, who suddenly thought of something, quickly took out a flute from the system. The design was very exquisite. Traces of coldness seeped out, and sword energy surrounded it. However, what shocked Lin Rei was that the aura of the flute was very similar to the aura of his clone. It was as if they were a match made in heaven. Bang! A sword cry pierced through the air, and a vigorous sword aura instantly soared into the sky. The sword tip flickered with a cold light, and gave people a suffocating feeling. After receiving the flute, the doppelganger could not help but draw out the sword hidden within the flute. For a moment, the surrounding winds and clouds stirred. When this happened, Lin Rei hurriedly retreated, allowing the doppelganger to do as he pleased. Bang, bang, bang. A loud sound was heard. Suddenly, Lin Rei felt a little regretful. The place, which was originally filled with immortal qi and abundant spiritual qi, had been messed up by the doppelganger. At this moment, the place was no longer as beautiful as a fairyland. It was simply a ruin. Immediately, Lin Rei hurriedly spoke to stop it. Stop, stop, stop. Hurry up and stop. If you go on like this, I don't need this anymore. At this moment, the doppelganger, who was waving the sword fiercely, immediately stopped when he heard Lin Rei's words. The sword was instantly returned to the flute, and the sword aura also disappeared at this moment. Looking at everything around him, Lin Rei was full of helplessness. However, there was no other way. It had already happened. Okay, you can use this sword in the future. Its name is the sword in flute. It is a magic treasure that can be upgraded. Moreover, it is too murderous. I have not used it. Now it seems that this sword in flute was specially prepared for you. Oh, right, this is for you too. With that, Lin Rei hurriedly took out a small porcelain bottle from his ring and casually threw it to the doppelganger. He said, this pill and the sword in flute were created at the same time. It is called the sword-breaking pill. It is specially designed to improve one's sword Dao. When you reach the realm of the gods, after you have settled down in a sect, eat it and increase your talent. At that time, you will be able to use the sword in flute more easily and freely. Oh! Hearing Lin Rei's words, the doppelganger's eyes were filled with surprise. Immediately, he opened the bottle and a terrifying sword aura suddenly shot up to the sky. Damn, this scene directly touched the doppelganger's heart. This sword aura was many times stronger than the sword aura of the sword in flute. For a moment, the doppelganger's heart was filled with joy. Moreover, if Lin Rei was not watching, he probably would have already swallowed the sword-breaking pill. Alright, you should get ready. We are about to ascend. We have stayed here for too long. Moreover, when we broke through to the next realm and created you, we used too much of the guiding energy. I hope that when the time comes, nothing will happen to him. With that, Lin Rei went to the guiding area and prepared to ascend to the realm of the gods. However, at this moment, the doppelganger was silent and his eyes were filled with disappointment. When Lin Rei saw this, he immediately asked, "What's wrong with you?" I don't have a name yet. The doppelganger's voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei slapped his forehead and then said to the doppelganger with an embarrassed expression, I forgot. I will give you a name now. After saying that, Lin Rei fell into deep thought. He had to remember the doppelganger's name. After all, the doppelganger was him and he was the doppelganger. The two of them were inseparable. At this moment, Lin Rei could not help but think of a novel he had read on planet Aqua Blue. The name of the protagonist was very awesome. It seemed to be Sakura of Time. Instantly, Lin Rei's eyes lit up and he immediately came back to his senses and said to the doppelganger. You will be called Sakura in the future. You are Sakura, one of a kind. As soon as he said that, the doppelganger instantly revealed a smile. If he was not wearing a mask, he would definitely be laughing very happily. Sakura, my name is Sakura. As soon as he said that, his aura was so imposing that even the doppelganger himself was a little stunned. Okay, let's go. Looking at the doppelganger's happy face, although he really wanted to make the doppelganger happy for a while longer, time waits for no one. He had already wasted so much time and could not delay any longer. Okay, got it. The doppelganger and the doppelganger's hearts were connected. Originally, the doppelganger's Tao Heaven art was a doppelganger's cultivation technique. However, halfway through, Lin Rei added his heart's blood, so the two's hearts were connected. As the doppelganger, Sakura naturally knew what Lin Rei was thinking in his heart. Then, the two of them stepped into the light pillar and instantly released their cultivation. After connecting with the light pillar, the two of them turned into light shadows and instantly disappeared into the endless void, disappearing from the celestial world. In the same instant that Linli left, the golden light which had filled the entire western region of the great Xia Empire suddenly disappeared without a trace. Sai, father has left. At this moment, on a mountain not far from the entrance of the endless void, Lin Yun stood on the peak of the mountain and looked at the light pillar disappearing bit by bit. Tears flowed out of his eyes uncontrollably. Wait for my father, I will definitely nurture my younger brother well. When Xiaofan is able to take charge alone, I will go to the celestial world to look for you. After saying that, Lin Yun disappeared from the peak of the mountain and shot towards the eastern sky. Lin Rei's disappearance spread throughout the entire celestial world. For a time, the Xuanzong sect became popular in the entire celestial world and fully deserved to be called the top sect in the celestial world, becoming the ruler of the celestial world. As for the endless mountain range, after the golden light disappeared, everyone who feared the endless void came to the endless void and swarmed in, but in the end, they didn't find anything. However, when they entered the endless void and saw the miserable state of the endless void and the dead demonic beasts, they couldn't help but bend over and support themselves against trees, vomiting non-stop. What they saw wasn't the endless void, what they saw was simply the Azura hell, and it was even worse than that. The demonic beasts in the endless void were basically half, and the remaining ones were extremely powerful existences. And this place was already useless to them. Since then, the endless void became a forbidden area for all sections. Moreover, all sects, clans, and empires issued a unified order that no one was allowed to enter the endless void without the permission of the sect. Those who disobeyed this order would have their entire clan executed, and their descendants would never be able to cultivate. No one dared to violate this law. Of course, this law also applied to the people of the Xuanzong sect. After Lin Rei left, Lin Yun had to live in the endless void for a period of time. While he was living in the endless void, he had already repaired all the places that were destroyed by Sakura. As for the dead demonic beasts in the endless void, they were also captured by Lin Yun in other mountain ranges and finally filled in the endless void. Since then, the endless void became a forbidden area for everyone, and was even kicked out from the celestial world. The celestial world, a place that people yearned to cultivate. Here, there were as many gods as dogs, and divine generals were everywhere. Only divine monarchs could shake this place. Those above divine monarchs were all in seclusion, and they simply disdained to come out. There was a place in the celestial world that everyone wanted to explore. They didn't know when it appeared, but everyone, including the strongest existences in the celestial world, would be in awe of this place as long as they went there. The starting ground. The starting ground was known as the receiving ground in the celestial world. As the name implied, this was the place where people who came from the lower realm would appear. No matter which realm they came from, they would all appear here. However, this was also the 100-Gate Mountain, because there were hundreds and thousands of sects stationed here in order to recruit new blood for their sections. Because only in this way could the sects continue to grow stronger, no matter if it was a top-notch sect or a mid-tier sect, all the sects would recruit. Of course, as for whether they could recruit people, that would depend on the top-notch sects. Chapter 480. Sigh. It's been 100 years, why hasn't anyone come up yet? If we keep waiting like this, even my Tao companion won't be willing. In the starting ground, a valiant middle-aged man wearing armor complained to his companion beside him. Hee, that's enough. Do you think I don't know you? You must have cheated some girl. The conversation between the two attracted the attention of everyone around them. The two who were chatting happily felt the surrounding gazes and became silent awkwardly. Boom! The sudden appearance of the golden light made the immortal sects, who had been waiting impatiently at the starting ground, feel a burst of pleasant surprise. Ha, they're finally here, they're finally here. We can go home. The man who spoke before was too simple. At this moment, he was so happy that he couldn't help but laugh out loud. Look at you. Remember, don't let anyone with good aptitude go. Any conditions are fine. Our divine sect will not reject anyone. Yes. Hearing this, the middle-aged man immediately rushed to the front. Wherever he passed, people would take the initiative to give way. Rumble. Rumble, a series of loud noises could be heard. Everyone was already waiting. As soon as the figure appeared, they would rush forward like hungry wolves. Whoosh. Whoosh. Whoosh! Half an hour later, one figure after another appeared in the originally empty golden light. 1, 100, 1,000, one after another, figures appeared in the golden light. Seeing this scene, everyone's hearts were stirred up. As time passed, more and more figures appeared in the golden light. Finally, tens of thousands of people appeared in the golden light. However, Linley and his clone, Sakura, were among these tens of thousands of people. At this moment, they still opened their eyes. However, the instant they opened their eyes, they saw something that they couldn't believe. Originally, they thought that they were the only ones who advanced. In the end, they saw hundreds, thousands, and even tens of thousands of people. Lin Rei was speechless. Deity, it seems that it's not a small matter for us to retreat in front of tens of thousands of people. At this moment, Sakura, who was wrapped in golden light, looked at the people around him. Some of them were of the same level as him, and looking at their clothes, he knew that they must be powerful in the lower bound. Those who block the way, die. A simple sentence had already expressed Lin Rei's attitude. He wasn't going to let so many people die just because they couldn't complete the mission given by the system. He wouldn't allow that to happen. Shwa! Suddenly, the golden light disappeared without any warning. At this moment, the impatient sect disciples did not become chaotic because of this. Instead, they became even more orderly. Fellow Taoists who have just ascended, I am Divine Predictor, a disciple of the Enigma Palace, and a disciple of the Divine Generation. The place you're in right now is the starting point of the God world, the place where all of the planes of ascension open up. After he finished speaking, the man who called himself Divine Predictor took a deep breath and then said to Lin Ray and the tens of thousands of people, "We are also guarding the sects here in order to be able to provide fresh blood for the sects in the sky profound realm." At this point, Lin Ray understood. At the same time, he was very happy. Originally, he thought that to complete the mission given by the system, he would have to travel mountains and rivers. He didn't expect that it would be so close. "Now, I'll introduce you to the sect stationed at the starting point." After saying that, Divine Predictor directly rose into the sky and looked down at the people who had just advanced. He said in a calm tone, "The immortal world is divided into 2 sects, 3 factions, 2 palaces, and 1 empire. These sects are now in front of you. As long as you can pass their test, you will become a disciple of the top sects in the God world." After saying that, Divine Predictor landed on the ground and returned to the location of his own sect. However, at this moment, when the people who were also from the God world heard that Divine Predictor didn't mention them at all, they were immediately furious. However, they didn't dare to do anything rash. The sects in the immortal world were divided into the top sections. Just like what Divine Predictor said before, they were divided into 1st grade, 2nd grade, and 3rd grade. Among them, the top sects were the highest, followed by the 1st grade, and so on. The lowest was the 3rd grade. Of course, there were also some unrated sects that weren't in the same grade. Humph, despicable and shameless. A sudden voice caused everyone's gaze to unconsciously gather towards the source of the voice. They saw a black-clothed man with a murderous aura and a gloomy aura. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray suddenly thought of 2 words, assassin. Hee, interesting. I didn't expect to see an assassin when I just arrived in the God world. Not bad. In this regard, Lin Ray couldn't help but look at the black-clothed man. Looking at the black-clothed man gradually rising into the sky, he coldly looked at Divine Predictor with a murderous aura in his eyes. "I am the deacon of the heavenly gate of the 8 heavenly gates of the God world. Today, we are recruiting again. If you are willing, you can come here. My 8 heavenly gates is not inferior to those so-called top sects." After saying that, the black-clothed man landed on the ground, but the murderous aura in his eyes became more and more intense. Interesting, 8 heavenly gates? At this moment, the moment Sakura, who was beside Lin Ray, saw the black-clothed man, his heart was already filled with curiosity. Regarding this, Lin Ray was shocked in his heart. "Damn, don't tell me you want to join the heavenly gate." As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people all looked over. Everyone's eyes were very strange as they looked at Lin Ray and Divine Predictor. Yes, there is such an intention, but it depends on how capable they are. Listening to the words of his doppelganger, Lin Ray didn't say anything. After all, although the 2 of them were the same person, after all, he had his own way of thinking. All right. After saying that, Lin Ray turned his head and no longer paid attention to his doppelganger. Since he had found his place, then at this moment, he was the only one left. At this moment, the top sects had already started to recruit new people. Looking at the various sects, Lin Ray's heart was very conflicted. When he first came to the immortal world, he also didn't know where to go. "Kid, don't hesitate, go to the divine sect." Just as Lin Ray was at a loss, the little dragon's voice came. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray's gaze turned towards the divine sect. Can't help but be nervous. As long as you have the qualifications to become a disciple of the sect, then in the future, you will have unimaginable resources. Looking at the actions of the divine sect, Lin Ray's brows were tightly knitted. Checking one's aptitude and spiritual roots, Lin Ray was very vexed by this. I want to, but look at them, they insist on having spiritual roots. Even the worst needs aptitude and comprehension. Say, if you seal all the things that I can use to join the sect, how can I enter the divine sect? You must know that they are the existence of a top sect. At this point, Lin Rei glanced at them. To him, the sect was only a shackle. If possible, he would rather go alone, regardless of whether there were any shackles restricting him. Don't blame me for not telling you, but the divine sect's position in the divine realm is extraordinary. Moreover, think about your personality, and the divine sect has something that is worthy of you joining. Something? What thing? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. Something that could come out of the little dragon's mouth must be a heavenly treasure blessed by the heavens. Even if it was a bit lacking, it would still be something that would stun everyone. TSK, you don't need to know. When the time is right, I will naturally tell you. But you must remember, you must join the divine sect. Not only will it be beneficial for you to obtain that thing, it will also be beneficial for your cultivation. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei chose to remain silent. He didn't understand why the little dragon wanted him to join the divine sect, but he knew that it would be beneficial for his future cultivation. After being silent for a long time, Lin Rei finally spoke, "Okay, I'll join," but, before Lin Rei could finish his sentence, the little dragon's voice rang out again, "Don't say no. No matter what you say, the system won't care. Since it has sealed everything you have, then it's up to you. However, don't blame me for not reminding you, this thing might allow the system to level up." Okay, no need to say any more. Just as the system's words fell, Lin Rei made a firm decision and entered the divine sect. I know what to do. At this point, Lin Rei would use all his means to join the divine sect. After all, this was related to the system's level up. Sakura, from now on, this sovereign will be in the divine sect. Still the same words, those who block the way, kill without mercy. After speaking, Lin Rei walked towards the divine sect. This time, Lin Rei was determined to join, no matter what. As a top-tier sect, there were naturally many disciples entering. Looking at the long queue in front of him, Lin Rei could only helplessly wait at the back. System, check all the information of the divine sect's disciples stationed here. In order to better join the divine sect, it was necessary to understand each other's information. Ding dong, yes host. Ding dong, scanning, please wait. 5 minutes later, ding dong, scanning complete. Please check. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei hurriedly said, check. After speaking, a screen appeared in front of him. This was something that only Lin Rei could see. On it were the information of two people. One was the stationed leader, Kai Ming, and the other was the vice leader, Gu Si. Kai Ming, 68,000 years old. Cultivation peak initial stage divine king realm. Family has a Dao partner and, Gu Si, 46,800 years old. Cultivation peak divine general realm. Family is empty. Looking at the two's information, Lin Rei was shocked. A divine king and a divine general. These were the two realms that Lin Rei yearned for. It seemed that he had to cater to their interests. Otherwise, with his current appearance, wanting to join a top-tier sect like the divine sect would be like a blind man looking at the road. Spiritual roots not qualified. Not qualified, not qualified. Not qualified. Chapter 481. All of them had failed, and all of the other cultivators at the same level as him had walked past him. Linley's heart sank. Although he was half confident, the human heart was the hardest to read. Right now, Linley was hesitating. Unqualified, unqualified. As Linley hesitated, the people in front of him finally left one by one. Finally, it was his turn. Gu Si, who was about to probe, froze when she saw Lin Rei. She didn't know why. However, he was a divine general after all, so he recovered from his shock and stared at the cultivator who had surprised him a little. "Come on, give me your hand." As she spoke, Gu Si stretched out her hand, preparing to scan Linley. At this moment, Linley had an awkward smile on his face as he strolled over to Gu Si's side and sent mentally. "Senior, this junior's aptitude isn't good enough. What do you think?" Outsiders couldn't hear their conversation. When Gu Si heard the voice transmission, her expression turned ugly. She was about to get angry when she heard the same voice again. "Senior, please don't get angry. This junior has admired the Archaean sect for a long time. I heard it in the immortal world. This junior swore to enter the Archaean sect. Of course, this junior doesn't dare to think about becoming a disciple." When he said that, Gu Si's expression softened quite a bit. Immediately after, Gu Si probed Linley's hand and said, I didn't expect the name of my divine sect to be so resounding in the immortal world." However, but as soon as he did, Linley was stunned. His heart thumped, thinking that it was all over. But after hearing Gu Sibu's words, Linley was stunned as well. "However, you still have to go through the motions. Even though your aptitude isn't good enough to be a true disciple, you can still be a disciple." Lin Rei was happy. He didn't expect to be accepted by the Archaean sect so easily. He didn't even have to give away the things he had prepared. Thank you, senior." The moment the two left the conversation, Gu Si said, "Qualified. Your aptitude is a bit lacking. Just be a disciple in the sect." Everyone was in an uproar. Over 100 disciples had left and all of them had failed. Now that one had finally passed, he was still a disciple. Of course, these were the thoughts of those who hadn't participated in the competition. As for those who had been eliminated, they all stared at Linley with unfriendly gazes, as though they wanted to skin Linley alive and swallow him whole. At this moment, how could Linley argue with those who didn't want to do it? Since he had already passed, it meant that his mission had already begun. "Thank you, senior." The strong were respected. Linley knew this. After passing the test, he bowed to Gu Si, then returned to stand behind her. You don't have to do this. Just call me senior brother from now on. I'll be in the sect for a long time. If you need anything, just look for me. Of course, I'll do my best." Seeing Gu Si in front of him, Linley began to treat her even more kindly. He didn't expect that this divine general would be so kind-hearted. At the same time, Lin Rei was worried about his kindness. In this dog-eat-dog world, being too kind was tantamount to suicide. "Yes, senior brother." Just like that, Linley successfully joined the sect for the system's mission. Seeing the people behind him being recruited one by one, Linley's heart was filled with joy. Kid, I didn't expect your luck to be so good. You actually met such a little guy." TSK, just as he was feeling bored, the little dragon's voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. "Tisk, do you think everyone is like you and the system, always thinking of ways to screw me over all the time?" Hearing this, the little dragon didn't get angry. Instead, he laughed happily. "Tisk, so what if we trick you? Aren't you the one who benefits in the end? If others want us to trick you, we won't be willing." For a moment, Lin Rei, who heard the little dragon's words, couldn't help but laugh out loud. Then, Lin Rei, who seemed to be overjoyed, quickly stopped laughing and looked around. At that moment, everyone was looking at him. For a moment, Lin Rei's expression was very awkward. I'm sorry." As he spoke, Linley hurriedly nodded in acknowledgement. Fortunately, the people around him didn't take him seriously at all, and continued to investigate. Looking at them, Lin Rei quickly rolled his eyes at the little dragon and said, alright, I won't talk to you anymore. I'll take a look around. Maybe there'll be some gains. Also, I'll check on the situation of the clone. Yes, go ahead. Anyway, he has what you have, except for the system. But, if possible, let him control the entire Assassin's organization. This will be more convenient for you in the celestial realm in the future. After hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon in the system nodded and instructed Lin Rei. Okay, got it. After saying that, Lin Rei came to Gu Si's side and whispered to him, Senior, I want to go over there and see how the person who came with me is doing. After hearing Lin Rei's words, Gu Si, who was busy, quickly turned around and said to him with a serious face, You can go, but don't cause trouble. This is the starting ground. Danger is everywhere. Also, don't argue with him. This is not like the sect. If something happens, I'm afraid I won't be able to save you in time, understand? Okay, got it. After hearing Gu Si's advice, Lin Rei felt a warmth in his heart. Then, his impression of him rose to another level. Here, this is for you. Just crush it and I'll be able to sense your location. Suddenly, a jade token was thrown over. Instantly, Lin Rei caught it in his hand and left after thanking him. Needless to say, there were really many cultivators here. Moreover, there were many strong cultivators. Along the way, Lin Rei activated the system's information system and didn't let a single person go. What supreme-grade spiritual root? What high-grade innate talent? They were as rare as phoenix feathers and water chestnuts in the immortal world. However, in this place, they were all crooked melons and cracked dates. In Lin Rei's eyes, although one's innate talent was important, what was more important was their age. They were either thousands of years old or tens of thousands of years old. Regarding this, Lin Rei didn't care at all. After searching for a while, he finally found the figure of the clone not far away. At this moment, Sakura was leaning on a magic circle that could only be held by 7 or 8 people. He had a leisurely look. Looking at him, Lin Rei's face was filled with joy. Then, he hurried to his side. Not bad. You're living a leisurely life? He had already sensed Lin Rei's arrival. Well, it's okay. Anyway, I have nothing to do. Nothing to do? Hearing this, Lin Rei was very puzzled. Everyone was joining the sect, but he actually said that he had nothing to do. Well, yes. After seeing a token with the word Tian, Lin Rei sighed. He had begged for his identity. He didn't expect that the clone would be faster than him. However, thinking about it, the clone represented him. Well, not bad. Although the Celestial Killer Sect is an assassin organization, its development prospects are still good. He had also come into contact with assassin organizations. They were paid to eliminate disasters. Looking at the deacon of the Celestial Killer Sect, Lin Rei's heart moved. Then, a seed demon appeared at his fingertips. Just as he was about to take action, he was stopped by the voice of the little dragon. You've got guts. If you want to die now, I won't stop you. You, hearing the words of the little dragon, Lin Rei couldn't help but roll his eyes at him. Then, the seed demon, which had been ready to take action, retreated. Humph, you really think that he's a vegetarian? You have to know that assassins are the same as demons like you. They're all bugs in the dark. Their sense of smell and the information around them are much more sensitive than you. Just you, before you even released your seed demon, your head would have already been separated from your body. The words of the little dragon made Lin Rei's neck turn cold. Then, he shivered. Okay, I got it. Although he didn't say much, it didn't mean that he wasn't afraid. Although he had already become a divine being, he was nothing in the divine realm. In order to attract attention, Lin Rei hurriedly repeated the words of the little dragon and left. As for Sakura, after Lin Rei left, he silently pondered. He had already mentally prepared himself for what his original body had just said. The sky gradually darkened, and suddenly, a sense of danger emerged in everyone's heart. At this moment, in the Divine Sect camp, Lin Rei was leaning on a tree with a weed in his mouth. He used his divine sense to explore the area 1 mile around him. It seems that the divine realm isn't some paradise. It's only been one night and it's already enough to make people feel danger. The moment the sense of danger appeared, Lin Rei knew that tonight wasn't going to be a comfortable night. Just as Lin Rei was vigilant, a figure suddenly rushed into his divine sense. Immediately, regardless of the consequences, the primal chaos dragon spear flew out of his hand and rushed towards the figure. An azure dragon with a flash of golden light instantly rushed out and rushed towards the figure. Bang! It was obvious that the black figure was on guard. However, the strange scene here attracted the attention of the surrounding cultivators. Some of the cultivators who were already paying attention no longer had any desire to rest. They immediately took out their weapons and rushed to the place where the sound came from. I'll beat you up. How dare you sneak attack this sovereign? Do you really think this sovereign is useless? Not far away, the figure who attacked him had his face covered. However, Lin Rei could feel the suppression of his realm. Regarding this place, Lin Rei was shocked. Damn, this sovereign just came here on the first day. I don't think I've offended anyone. How could there be someone from the divine realm? But at this moment, Lin Li didn't have time to think. That figure instantly charged towards him. Seeing this, Lin Li narrowed his eyes. His murderous aura instantly surged out. The chaos dragon spear in his hand danced continuously. The 9 heavens azure dragon instantly charged out, carrying a murderous aura as it charged towards the black figure. Chapter 482. At this moment, many people had gathered around to watch. Everyone had a smile on their faces and they were watching this battle with the attitude of watching a show. Of course, Sakura was among them. When he saw Lin Rei being attacked, he wanted to rush forward but was stopped by Lin Rei's voice transmission. Then, he stayed in the crowd and watched. Break! At this moment, after the man in black roared, a strong beam of light instantly appeared in front of him. When the 9 heavens azure dragon appeared and collided with it, a dazzling light instantly washed over the eyes of all the surrounding onlookers. Crack! Crack! The sound of something breaking was heard and cracks naturally appeared on the light column. However, at this moment, the 9 dragons were not damaged at all. They were still very dazzling and their power was not reduced at all as they attacked the light column in front of them. How is this possible? The moment the crack appeared, the black-clothed man cried out in surprise. Although his eyes could not be seen, it was obvious that he was very shocked at this moment. He was shocked that an ant who had just entered the divine realm could break through his attack. Nothing is impossible. With me, everything is possible, including killing you. A voice full of killing intent suddenly sounded from behind. Suddenly, the man was stunned on the spot. He wanted to fight back but it was too late. Bang! In the instant that Lin Li arrived behind the black-clothed man, he lashed out with a whip kick towards the heads of the 9 azure dragons. A black blur suddenly shot towards the mouth of the azure dragon in a parabolic arc. But right now, the black-robed man's heart was filled with shock. Not just him, even the surrounding people who had previously despised Lin Li and hated Lin Li couldn't help but feel regret for their previous actions. I didn't expect to take in such a little monster this time. TSK, TSK, TSK. If those old guys know about this, they will divide him up. Not far away, Wuxia, who was ready to take action at any time, saw this scene and relaxed a lot. Although he knew that Lin Rei couldn't win, he was not as anxious as before to rescue him at this moment. Ha, ha ha ha, suddenly, a burst of laughter rang out. Immediately, Lin Rei's face darkened, and his heart jumped to his throat. Ah, sure enough, it's not that easy to kill a fee examiner. Looks like today is going to be a fight to the death. Lin Rei, who was prepared, clenched Hun Dun's body tightly as cold sweat trickled down his forehead. He stared at Zhang Long as though he could see through everything. Bang! A loud sound rang out as the 9 heavens azure dragon instantly descended and dissipated in the air, disappearing without a trace. Not bad at all. A jealous and arrogant voice rang out. Instantly, Lin Li stared warily in front of him. A figure had appeared, emanating a murderous aura that was on par with Lin Li's own. Because of this, Lin Li became even more vigilant. Humph, brat, you're doing well. Don't even think about leaving. Stay. Shua. The moment the black-robed man finished speaking, he saw a shadow dashing towards him with boundless killing intent and divine qi. Instantly, a sense of fear that he had never felt before rose in his heart. However, Lin Rei was not one to be scared. Rather than waiting for death, he decided to take the initiative. After making the decision, Lin Rei released his cultivation as a divine being. His 5 senses, his body, and his magic treasures were all used by Lin Rei to increase his cultivation. Originally, he was already able to kill people of a higher level. Now, with so many enhancements, his strength was even more powerful. Suddenly, a brilliant light was released. Everyone around was stunned. They knew that this kind of brilliance could only be released by a divine weapon. There was no other way to release such brilliance. Damn, a full set of divine weapons. He's so awesome. Where did he get promoted from? And which sect did he join? F***ck, this is too unfair. Why is everyone else so awesome while I have to eat grass? This is not fair. Damn it. Isn't this a deep stab to my lowly self-esteem? Is he still human? The moment they saw Lin Rei's divine weapons, the surrounding people could not help but chatter. Some of them were even crazier. They could not wait to rush up to Lin Rei and pull out his equipment and put it on themselves. However, they had to rely on their own strength. In the end, they could only watch the battle silently. Humph, those who can't get along with me must die. Especially those who provoke me like you. You can't be left alive. Lin Rei, who was already prepared to take action, did not move at all. Instead, his spear shot out first. At this moment, the chaotic dragon spear seemed to be alive as it stood in front of Lin Rei. Its body was emitting a cold light that made people not dare to look at it directly. Come, let's fight together. Lin Tian, I'll let you taste the blood of the people of the divine realm right here. As he spoke, traces of red energy were released little by little. A soul-stirring feeling arose in everyone's heart. SSS. This is the blood qi. At this moment, a very inconspicuous little fellow in the crowd exclaimed in surprise after seeing the red energy emitted from the spear. His voice was so loud that everyone around him heard it. Retreat! A cry of alarm came from the crowd. Immediately, tens of thousands of people retreated far away. They only stopped when the feeling of their souls being sucked away disappeared. How can this be? Why would the blood qi appear here? Moreover, look at that person. He is still fine. The crowd could not accept Lin Rei's current situation. Everyone knew that they could not touch the blood qi, let alone when it was used by a human. This had already turned their worldview upside down. Azura spear art, plunder. Suddenly, there was a roar. The primal chaos dragon spear started to become blurry the moment Linley used his martial skill. When everyone saw it clearly, there was only one spear. At that moment, there were 9 spears. Moreover, each spear was shining with a cold light. Humph, what are you giving me? Lin Rei's hand seals were constantly changing. Then, the 9 spears appeared around Lin Rei and surrounded Lin Rei in the center. Swoosh! A sound broke through the air. In an instant, a graceful figure separated from the 9 spears and rushed towards a direction. Bang! A figure appeared in an instant and was sent flying backward. He only managed to stop after flying for 100 meters. Puff! 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 At this moment, the black-clothed man who was lying on the ground felt as if his internal organs were being pulled out. He was in unbearable pain. Blood spurted out from his mouth and his face turned pale in an instant. How is this possible? How can an early true god defeat me? This is impossible, this is impossible, bang. In an instant, the black-clothed man bounced up from the ground as if he had gone mad. He exerted all his cultivation in an instant and ignored the pain in his internal organs. A sky piercer appeared in his hand and he rushed towards Lin Rei. The sky piercer seemed to be alive as it slashed towards Lin Rei with a thunderous force. Although he was able to defeat the black-clothed man for a short while, the black-clothed man's speed was too fast. It was so fast that Lin Rei did not come to his senses for a while. When the sense of crisis reached its end, Lin Rei slowly came to his senses. Humph, die for me. In an instant, the chaotic dragon spear rushed out towards the sky piercer. At the same time, another chaotic dragon spear rushed towards the black-clothed man who was holding the sky piercer. Dang, bam bam, puff. The sound of weapons colliding with each other was accompanied by the sound of vomiting blood. Suddenly, Lin Rei's face lit up. As the saying goes, kill when you are sick. Lin Rei did not need to sympathize with this kind of person. Just when the black-clothed man vomited blood and was in a daze, a chaotic dragon spear rushed towards him. It was not a joke for a weapon of unknown grade to hit a cultivator's body. Dong! 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 A series of muffled sounds were heard. Lin Rei, who was holding the chaotic dragon spear, was surrounded by 4 chaotic phantoms. He hit the black-clothed man's abdomen with the chaotic dragon spear and flew forward step by step. Puff! Puff! The black-clothed man vomited blood. At this moment, his life was hanging by a thread. If no one appeared, the black-clothed man would die in the next moment and cease to exist. Humph, it's over. Remember, in your next life, be a good person. Don't be a gangster. You can't afford it. At this point, everyone in the surroundings heard what he said. Instantly, an uproar broke out. Everyone's eyes were filled with disbelief. They had never imagined that a cultivator of the same level as them would be able to kill an expert of the god realm above his level. Die. Suddenly, Lin Rei, who was holding the chaotic dragon spear, frowned and a cold light flashed in his eyes. This time, Lin Rei did not pour all of his cultivation into the chaotic dragon spear. He also used the illusory spirit blood fire on the chaotic dragon spear and stabbed it towards the black-clothed man's Dan palace. No matter if it was a cultivator, an immortal cultivator, or a cultivator who was about to enter the divine realm, their Dan palace was the foundation of a cultivator. If the Dan palace was gone, it meant that the cultivator had reached the end of the path of cultivation. Hoa, slash. Poof, the sound of a body being pierced was heard by everyone. Although the sound was not loud, it was still a cultivator in the divine weapon realm. The strength of the Dan palace was extraordinary. Just the surface of the divine soul inside was already so strong that it was indestructible. However, it was pierced by this unknown brat in front of them. Chapter 483. Dead. An expert at the divine weapon realm was pierced through by Lin Rei's spear just like that. In the end, he didn't even have the chance to scream before his mouth was shut forever. At that moment, the scene was completely silent. Not a single person spoke. Not even a single bird could be heard. It was extremely quiet. However, Linley didn't care about this at all. Instead, he squatted down and reached out to take off the black man's mask. He saw a middle-aged man who wasn't very handsome but had a valiant aura appear in front of him. Heh! With a disdainful smile, Lin Rei looked at the man who had been killed in the blanket. He didn't have the chance. Instead, he lifted the dead man's hand and a sparkling ring appeared in front of Lin Rei's eyes. Hee, you have to give me something appropriate. Otherwise, I'll be at a disadvantage. In order to fight with you, I have to use all my cultivation. Tell me, is it suitable for you? Serves you right. After saying that, he waved his hand and an array appeared around him, protecting him. Then, his spiritual consciousness moved and instantly entered the dead man's ring. In an instant, Lin Rei entered the dead man's storage ring effortlessly. Of course, if the dead man wasn't dead, it would be difficult for him to break through the enchantment. However, the owner of the ring was dead and the ring was ownerless. Therefore, it didn't take much effort to enter the ring. When the onlookers saw Linley's actions, they were instantly filled with helplessness. The onlookers had not expected Linley's actions to disappear. Hee, it seems like this kid is still hiding his strength. I didn't expect an early true god to be able to kill an expert at the divine weapon realm. It seems like this person isn't simple. At this moment, a man in black armor beside Gu Si said in a deep voice. Okay, I know. I'll be careful. Hearing the man's words, Gu Si shrank her neck and said weakly. Damn, this is big news. Who is this guy? He actually has the ability to kill someone who's at a higher level. Yeah, who is this guy? He's so awesome. It seems like the divine world is going to be lively in the future. Hee, that's right. The thoughts of the onlookers always made people not know whether to laugh or cry. However, Sakura, who had been watching from the side, similarly covered his face with a helpless expression after seeing Lin Rei's actions. Sigh. Sakura, who was smiling slightly, quietly looked at the scene in front of him and didn't say anything. Damn, not bad. I didn't expect this idiot to have so many good things. At this moment, Lin Rei was so excited that he couldn't control himself when he sensed that the deceased's belongings were all good stuff. Luckily I didn't waste my efforts. Hee, I didn't expect that a random person would be able to make me a windfall. Although that was what Linley thought, he did not have the slightest intention of underestimating the powerhouses of the celestial realm. In fact, he still had lingering fears from the battle just now. If not for his powerful equipment and strength, he would have been the one to die here. Looking at so many good things, Lin Rei reluctantly withdrew from the ring. When Lin Rei came back to his senses, he removed the array around him. With a bang, a blood-red flame was thrown at the corpse. In an instant, the corpse turned into ashes and disappeared from this wonderful world. Lin Rei, who had settled the matter, raised his head and looked at the scene. At this moment, the scene was very funny. There were tens of thousands of people watching him. At this moment, he was like an animal in a zoo being admired and commented on by them. Look again. If you look again, you'll have to pay. Lin Rei said to them angrily. Suddenly, there was a flurry of footsteps and everyone left the place and returned to their original place. Hee, not bad. As an initial true god, you were able to fight against an expert in the middle stage of the divine weapon realm without any difference. You even killed him. Previously, I thought that you wouldn't be able to defeat him. At this moment, Gu Si's words were heard. Instantly, Lin Rei's tightly knitted brows relaxed. He said to Gu Si, "Sigh. That's right. If it wasn't for his carelessness, I might have been the one to die." That's right. If it wasn't for his carelessness, I'm afraid that the one lying on the ground now would be you." When Gu Si said this, Lin Rei was a little puzzled. Gu Si's words were out of his expectations. "Oh, why?" Looking at Lin Rei's puzzled look, Gu Si smiled slightly. Then, she came to Lin Rei's side and said to Lin Rei in an old-fashioned voice, "Maybe you don't know. You've just advanced and might not know the cultivation levels of the realm of the gods." As she said this, Gu Si slowly explained the cultivation levels of the realm of the gods. After the realm of the gods, there's the divine weapon realm, divine guard realm, divine general realm, divine king realm, divine emperor realm, divine ancestor realm, divine lord realm, divine emperor realm, and then the ruler of the realm of the gods, the reverend realm. However, I don't need to tell you about the realms after that because it's still too early. Hearing Gu Si's words, Lin Rei nodded slightly. He already knew what Gu Si had said just now, so he wasn't interested in it at all. However, after advancing to the realm of the gods will comprehend a technique in the sect called the realm of gods. When Gu Si's words were heard again, it instantly aroused Lin Rei's curiosity. The realm of gods was a name that Lin Rei was unfamiliar with. He had never heard anything about it from the little dragon. Immediately, Lin Rei couldn't stay silent any longer. He asked Gu Si with a tone full of curiosity, quickly tell me about the realm of gods." Seeing Lin Rei's interest, Gu Si hurriedly explained to Lin Rei, "The realm of gods is something that only realm of the gods can comprehend. However, this comprehension is controlled by all the sects. Of course, there are a few methods that don't require the sects." Speaking up to this point, Gu Si let out a sigh of relief. In the end, she didn't expect Lin Rei to impatiently urge her, "Don't listen, what other methods are there?" At this moment, Lin Rei's appearance was very cute. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, Gu Si didn't keep Lin Rei in suspense. She immediately told him the rest of the methods in one breath. "Either you are a super powerful genius who can comprehend it on your own, or you have the help of an expert. If you are neither of these, then you must enter a sect, because only a sect can allow you to comprehend it, and there is no danger at all." At this moment, Lin Rei was silent. Hearing Gu Si's words, Lin Rei sighed in his heart. At the same time, his heart was filled with longing for the realm of gods. Boom! Just as Lin Rei was fantasizing, his body suddenly sank. His body immediately fell to the ground uncontrollably. His back felt as if it was pressed down by a mountain. He wanted to move, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't move an inch. He raised his head and looked at Gu Si. His eyes were filled with shock. He didn't know how Gu Si did it. Moreover, Gu Si's face was relaxed, as if there was no pressure at all. "How is it? Do you feel it? This is the suppression of the realm of gods, the realm of gravity." Gu Si's voice sounded. In an instant, Lin Rei was stunned. Realm of gravity, realm. Slowly, the two words realm of gravity appeared in Lin Rei's mind. It was as if it was engraved and couldn't be removed. It was like a curse that surrounded Lin Rei's consciousness and the depths of his mind. "Yes, it's very strong." Hearing Gu Si's question, Lin Rei blurted out without hesitation. Regarding this, he was very glad that the person before didn't use the realm of gods. Otherwise, it might really be him at this moment. Looking at Lin Rei's dazed appearance, Gu Si immediately withdrew her realm of gravity. Immediately, Lin Rei's body, which was lying on the ground, became light. His flushed face returned to normal. "Hee, get up. This can't be helped. If you want to explain the realm of gods, I don't have the ability, so just now." "I'm sorry. It's fine, it's fine. You don't have to apologize. On the contrary, I have to thank you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have known that a realm of gods could comprehend this kind of thing. Speaking until here, Lin Rei couldn't help but recall the scene of being suppressed by the realm of gravity. For a moment, the shock in his heart couldn't dissipate. But you don't have to worry. The realm of gods isn't something that anyone can comprehend. If you want to comprehend the realm of gods, first of all, you have to have a very good body. Second, you have to have talent and the purity of your divine qi. Therefore, those who can cultivate the realm of gods are very rare in the realm of gods. Other than the disciples of the sects or the geniuses groomed by the sects, ordinary people simply don't have it. Yes, I understand. Hearing Gu Si's reminder, Lin Rei nodded knowingly. Then, as if he had thought of something, he flipped his hands and the heavenly pendant appeared in his hands. Senior brother, this little brother is new here and doesn't know much. If it weren't for senior brother's reminder, this little brother wouldn't have known so many things. This is a small token of my appreciation. Please accept it. While Lin Rei was speaking, Gu Si was already in a daze. A pair of fiery eyes were looking at the realm of gods in his hands. However, what made Lin Rei admire Gu Si was that although Gu Si's eyes were filled with passion, there was no greed. Because of this, Lin Rei's impression of Gu Si was even better. This isn't good. Looking at the realm of gods in front of him, Gu Si's heart was faintly moved. However, he really didn't know how to accept such a precious item. Looking at Gu Si's appearance, Lin Rei smiled and said casually, "Senior brother, don't worry. I have plenty of these things. Don't worry and use them." Looking at such a cute senior brother, Lin Rei was in a good mood. Although the night wind was very cool, Lin Rei didn't feel cold at all. Instead, he felt warm in his heart. After that, under Linley's repeated attempts to dissuade her, Gu Si finally accepted Linley's gift. "Thank you, junior apprentice brother. However, I still want to say that although this is the deity realm, divine artifacts aren't everywhere. As the saying goes, don't flaunt your wealth. In the future, you must think thrice before you act, and act according to your abilities." Chapter 484. After Gu Si finished her warning, she turned around and walked into his room without looking back. Lin Rei, who was listening, smiled after hearing Gu Si's warning and didn't say anything. Lin Rei understood Gu Si's words clearly, but at this moment, he didn't have the mood to think about it. After knowing about the realm of gods, Lin Rei couldn't help but recall the scene when he was suppressed by Gu Si. Realm of gods, just you wait. I will definitely cultivate it. Realm of gods, I'm really looking forward to it. With a mysterious smile, Lin Rei looked around. Then, he waved his hand and set up a formation around him. After wrapping himself up, he fell asleep. Who could it be? He just reached the realm of the gods and someone already made a move. Could it be that those people know about Lin Rei's identity? Not long after Lin Rei fell asleep, the little dragon quietly came to Lin Rei's side. Looking at the sleeping Lin Rei, the little dragon frowned. Although others thought that it was just an ordinary battle, the little dragon felt that it wasn't so simple. Sigh. Forget it, let's leave it to fate. Let's take it one step at a time. Anyway, I can only become stronger if there is a battle. Thinking of this, the little dragon looked at Lin Rei with a very treacherous expression. Then, it smiled and disappeared into the system. Just like that, the night quietly slipped away. That night, Linley slept very comfortably, and the surrounding formations didn't seem to have been damaged at all. Early in the morning, Linley slowly opened his eyes. Raising his head, he stared at the towering ancient tree. He was in a very good mood, especially after yesterday's battle. After obtaining that storage ring, Lin Li wished he could do it again. After regaining his senses, Lin Rei stood up and put away the formation around him. Looking around, he saw that Gu Si was still doing the same work as yesterday. She was still checking the spiritual root talent for people who were about to reach the realm of the gods. Seeing this, Lin Rei felt helpless. Sigh, how much longer will it take? Lin Rei grumbled as he nodded at Gu Si and left, heading in a direction with no one around. Before he left, Gu Si kept reminding him to be careful, but Lin Rei just laughed it off. As for Lin Rei, there wasn't a single person in the starting ground who didn't know him. After yesterday's battle, everyone knew of Lin Rei's existence. With a single sentence, Lin Rei glanced at the thick ancient trees one by one. Looking at this wonderland on earth, Lin Rei couldn't help but sigh. I wonder how Lu Ying is doing. It's time for him to wake up. Finally, after walking quite a distance, Lin Li came to a halt beneath an ancient tree. He scanned the area with his eyes. Seeing that there was no one else around, he casually set up an emperor-level formation, then instantly released everyone from his system. I said, look at this. Suddenly, Lin Rei was speechless. What's going on? I thought they would be bored, but I didn't expect them to be chatting happily in the system. However, at this moment, everyone felt the change in the spiritual energy around them. They lifted their heads and saw Lin Rei looking at them with hidden bitterness. Wow, Xiaofan exclaimed. When he saw the situation around him and the ancient tree behind Lin Rei, he instantly became excited. Hey, Lin Rei, is this the realm of the gods? The spiritual energy here is so dense, and the tree behind you is so big. Xiaofan's skinny figure walked behind him. When Lin Rei saw this, he frowned and wanted to turn around to say something. However, he saw Xiaofan's strange action. Lin Rei suddenly laughed. Not only Lin Rei, but everyone around him also laughed. Ha 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 ha, fortunately, there was a formation in the surroundings. Otherwise, his laughter would have attracted Gu Si and the rest who were not far away. At this moment, Xiaofan was hugging a magical tree and gnawing on it as though he wanted to eat the ancient tree that even 7 to 8 people couldn't hold together. Hey, are you stupid? You can't eat this. Seeing Xiaofan's silly look, Lin Rei quickly stepped forward to stop him. However, Lin Rei gave up when he saw Xiaofan's persevering look. Anyway, he didn't lose anything. Turning around, Lin Rei looked at them and said with a heavy expression, hold on for a few more days. After I enter the sect and you guys break through to the divine realm, the realm of the gods will be yours to roam. Yes, we understand. After hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone revealed excited smiles and said casually, we will definitely break through to the immortal venerable realm and enter the realm of the gods as soon as possible. We will definitely not disappoint sect masters' expectations. Seeing how all of them were working so hard, Lin Li felt very gratified. Alright, you guys can go in and cultivate. After he finished speaking, Lin Rei waved his hand and everyone was thrown into the system. However, the male emperor, Lu Ying, and Xiaofan were left behind by Lin Rei. The male emperor, who didn't know what was going on, slowly asked, Brother Lei, is there something you want me to do? After hearing the male emperor's words, Lu Ying and Xiaofan, who was gnawing on the ancient tree, all looked at Lin Rei. They also wanted to know. Seeing everyone's reaction, Lin Rei smiled and said casually, nothing. I just want to talk to you guys. After saying that, Lin Li sat down on the ground. With a thought, the corpse of a Yao beast weighing at least 500 kilograms was brought out from his storage ring. This was something that Lin Li had killed in the immortal plane. He then placed it inside his storage ring. The storage ring was a place to store things. Inside the ring, time stopped. Therefore, even if it was 100 years, 1,000 years, or even 10,000 years, as long as the ring was still there, those things would be as fresh as if they were just killed. Ah! Meat! A cry of surprise could be heard. A short black shadow instantly slid past his clothes and landed on top of the corpse of the demonic beast. Seeing this, a happy smile appeared on Linley's face. Hee, Xiaotian, stop fooling around. This is raw. Come down quickly. I'll roast it for you. Xiaotian, who didn't want to let go, reluctantly left the corpse of the demonic beast after hearing Lin Rei's words. He came to Lin Rei's side and stared at him as if he was afraid that Lin Rei would swallow the demonic beast. Xiaotian was helpless against this action. However, there was nothing he could do. After all, he was still a child. Boom! The illusory spirit blood fire was instantly used. Immediately, the temperature of the surroundings rose. Fortunately, they were all immortal venerables and immortal emperors. Other than Xiaotian, they could withstand the heat. As for Xiaotian, he was able to withstand the scorching heat. His mind was slowly fading away, but for the sake of roasting the meat, he continued to eat. Lin Rei couldn't help but admire Xiaoshan's spirit of eating meat. As time passed, Lin Rei added all the seasonings into the meat. After a round of roasting by Lin Rei, a fragrant aroma wafted out. Wah, 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 I can't take it anymore. I want to eat, I want to eat. Xiaotian screamed as if he had gone mad. Lin Rei had no choice but to increase the heat. After a few breaths, the meat was roasted by Lin Rei and placed on the table. Let's make this clear first. You can't have it all to yourself. In order for them to be able to eat the meat, the moment Linley finished speaking to Xiaotian, he pointed out with his sword. Sword Qi instantly sliced through the middle of the demonic beast, splitting it into 2 portions. Seeing this, Xiaotian couldn't take it anymore. However, he couldn't win against Lin Rei. In the end, he could only give in. I want the big piece. All right. Looking at Xiaoshan's sullen expression, Lin Rei quickly nodded in agreement. However, he was still laughing in his heart. With a swish, Xiaotian quickly grabbed the barbecued meat and dodged to the side. Seeing this, Linley was filled with helplessness. Hee, come, let's eat. As he spoke, Linley picked out a piece of meat that was relatively softer and brought it to Lu Ying's side. He placed the meat in front of her. Eat. Did you sleep well these past few days? At this moment, the male disciple saw Lin Rei's expression and tactfully left with the meat. He walked to Xiaoshan's side and squatted down to eat the big bones. It's okay. Lu Ying's face was flushed red when he saw the male disciple's actions. He knew what he meant and replied to Lin Rei. Hurry up and eat. I can't stay here for too long. Otherwise, the divine sect will see through us. After saying that, Lin Rei tore off a piece of meat and fed it to Lu Ying. Instantly, a wave of happiness rushed into the hearts of the two. Lin Rei knew about Lu Ying's cultivation. Although he was already in the early stage of the true God state, the generals that he summoned were all at the peak of the true God state. Just like that, the meal was quickly finished and Lin Rei kept everyone in the system. Of course, before leaving, Xiaotian begged to stay outside for a while but was rejected by Lin Rei. In the end, Xiaotian decisively threw him into the system. Seeing this, Lu Ying and the male disciple entered the system with smiles on their faces. When they left, Lin Rei took a few demonic beast corpses and roasted them with the illusory spirit blood fire. Then, Lu Ying and the male disciple brought them into the system for everyone to share. After everything that happened last night, Lin Rei hurriedly packed up and removed the array before returning to the divine sect's camp. When Lin Rei returned, Gu Si nodded when she saw him. She asked a few questions and didn't ask anything else. A period of time passed just like that. On this day, Wuxia recruited a lot of disciples. As the number of disciples increased, the divine sect's encampment here wasn't enough. In the end, Lin Rei hurriedly vacated his room and went to an ancient tree. He set up an array and used it as his temporary encampment. Therefore, Wuxia wanted Linli to live in her room. However, Linli refused in the end. He didn't want to live under the nose of an immortal general. At this moment, it was the best time for him to stay in the formation. Chapter 485. In the next few days, Lin Rei would go to the place where he had his meal every day. He didn't know about the array, but he would move Sha Tian and the others out of the system for a gathering. Of course, Luing stayed by Lin Rei's side every day. During these few days, Luing had a blissful smile on his face every day. 5 days. This lifestyle went on for 5 whole days. Finally, when Lin Rei woke up this morning, Wuxia's voice was transmitted into the array before he woke up. Lin Rei, let's go. I'm bringing you guys to report to the sect today. The moment he heard Wuxia's voice, Lin Rei woke up from his dream and replied lazily, "Oh, got it. Go ahead, I'll be right there." Okay. Hurry up then. After speaking, Wuxia left. At this moment, in the array, the spring scenery was still dazzling and blinding. When Lin Rei came back to his senses, he lowered his head to look at Luing, who was sleeping soundly on his chest. Lin Rei was a little reluctant to wake her up. Quietly, after looking at his wife for a long time, Lin Rei finally reached out and gently pushed Luing. He said gently, Ing Er, wake up. I'm leaving." Linli's voice was very soft. In his heart, he didn't want to wake his wife up right now. However, Luing was a peak stage true god after all. Thus, when he heard Linli's soft voice, Luing opened his eyes in a daze. You're leaving?" Luing didn't know what was going on in his sleep when he saw his husband starting to put on her clothes. This action shocked Luing. He was completely awake from his previous sleepiness. Seeing his husband's gentle appearance, Luing was incomparably happy. Very quickly, perhaps because of Jin Ling. So Lin Rei dressed Luing very quickly. After that, Lin Rei dressed himself in no time. You still have to go back for the next few days. Once I've stabilized, I'll release all of you. By then, we'll be able to live together and never be separated." Luing, who was already prepared to go back, hurriedly nodded his head and closed his eyes when he heard what his husband said. Looking at her, Lin Rei kissed her on the forehead, then communicated with the system to keep Luing in. After everything was done, Lin Rei waved his hand and removed the array. He stepped out and a green dragon appeared beneath his feet. In an instant, he arrived beside Wuxia, who had been waiting for him. "You're finally here." When he saw Wuxia standing on the azure dragon, he was shocked. However, as a divine general, he had seen everything, so he quickly recovered from his shock and complained to Lin Rei. That. Oh right, are we going back to the sect?" Seeing the look on Wuxia's face, Linli hurriedly changed the topic and asked curiously. That's right. The disciples are almost done. Senior brother Kai Ming asked me to bring you guys back to report to the sect. Wuxia really liked Lin Rei. Especially after experiencing the sky fall with Lin Rei, Wuxia liked Lin Rei even more. When she heard Lin Rei's question, Wuxia answered without hesitation. "Oh." After hearing that they could go to the divine sect, Lin Rei's face was full of smiles. At this moment, he couldn't wait to go to the divine sect immediately. After 1,000 years, he'd be free. Alright, junior brothers, follow me. I'll bring you guys back to the sect. As she spoke, Gu Si waved at Linli and flew towards the north. When Linli saw Gu Si waving at him, he flew to Gu Si's side and followed her. Junior brother Lin, you just came to the God realm, so you don't know the structure of the God realm. Since there's still a long time before we return to the sect, Lin Tian, I'll tell you about the structure of the God realm and its powers. Hearing Gu Si's words, Lin Rei perked up and seriously stopped. He really wanted to know about the structure and powers of the God realm. The God realm is also known as the 9 Prefectures' Divine Land. What, the 9 Prefectures? After hearing the name, Lin Rei couldn't help but reveal a strange expression. If it was the 9 Prefectures, he actually knew of a place called the 9 Prefectures. However, that 9 Prefectures couldn't be compared to the current 9 Prefectures. Yes, the 9 Prefectures are divided into the 4 Prefectures. The Eastern Prefectures are divided into Pai Prefecture and Zhu Prefecture. The Western Prefectures are divided into Tianzhou and Hun Prefecture. The Southern Prefectures are divided into Dan Prefecture and Ling Prefecture. The Northern Prefectures are divided into Wu Prefecture and Ding Prefecture. Hearing Gu Si's description of the 9 Prefectures, Lin Rei was immediately puzzled. The original 9 Prefectures had now become 8 Prefectures. Immediately, Lin Rei asked doubtfully, Senior brother, according to your description of the 9 Prefectures, this is only 1 Prefecture. What about the other one? After hearing Lin Rei's question, Gu Si's expression couldn't help but change, as if this matter was very terrifying. Speaking of this, Gu Si lowered her voice and whispered in Lin Rei's ear, alas, you'll know it sooner or later anyway. In addition to the 8 prefectures I just told you about, there's another prefecture. However, that place is very terrifying. Normally, only divine cultivators who have reached the divine general realm dare to go there. Moreover, there's no one in charge of that place. It's a place that no one dares to ask about. It's so mysterious. Hearing Gu Si's description of the 9th prefecture, it seemed that there was some kind of man-eating monster that made him so terrified. Moreover, it seemed that he had been there before. Senior brother, have you been there before? Hearing this, Gu Si frowned and her face turned extremely pale. It was terrifying. Lin Rei really didn't expect that a simple question would cause such a big reaction from Gu Si. Therefore, Lin Rei became very interested in the mysterious 9th prefecture. Moreover, at this moment, Lin Rei secretly swore in his heart that he would definitely enter the 9th prefecture to take a look if he had the chance in the future. At this moment, Gu Si seemed to have guessed something after seeing Lin Rei's eyes shining. She then advised, Junior brother, I advise you to give up on that thought. I know it's very dangerous inside and there are many places. I'm not afraid to say that. Although it's the 9th prefecture, according to the fabrications of a previous ultimate god, the area of the 9th prefecture is not at all comparable to the 8 prefectures. It might even be larger than the 8 prefectures. Hiss, at this moment, the thousands of cultivators behind Gu Si who had been selected to join the sect immediately sucked in a breath of cold air. They secretly swore in their hearts that they would never go to the 9th prefecture in the future. However, Lin Rei was different. The more he listened to Gu Si, the more excited Lin Rei became. The more Lin Rei listened to Gu Si, the stronger his desire to enter the 9th prefecture. Alright, let's not talk about this topic. Let's talk about our divine sect and the other major forces. This way, we can immediately recognize the disciples of other sects when we go out in the future. At this moment, seeing everyone's frightened expressions, Gu Si's heart sank. She quickly organized her words and changed the topic. I believe that person from the Enigma Palace has already said that although the divine realm is divided into 9 prefectures, only 8 prefectures are controlled by the people of the divine realm. Our divine sect is the ruler of one of the prefectures. At this point, Gu Xi's face couldn't help but reveal a calm expression as if that prefecture was under her control. Then, Gu Xi continued, the forces of the divine realm are divided into 2 sects, 3 factions, 2 palaces, and 1 empire. The 2 sects are the divine sect, which is our sect. Our sect has been established for more than 1,000,000 years and countless experts have appeared in our sect. During this period of time, some old ancestors have broken through the divine ancestor realm and advanced to the realm below the hierarch realm. At this moment, the people flying at the back couldn't help but fly towards Lin Rei's direction in order to hear Gu Xi's introduction of the divine realm. Our divine sect is located in the eastern Pai Prefecture's myriad mountains. There are countless disciples in our sect. When you reach the sect, there will be a specialized disciple to introduce you. At this moment, Gu Xi's expression softened a lot. She no longer looked as bloodless as before. The other sect is the Qianquan sect. As soon as she said that, Lin Rei instantly frowned and released an invisible murderous aura that swept across the surroundings. Everyone who sensed Lin Rei's murderous aura immediately became alert. They knew about his past. How could they not be afraid when such a dangerous person suddenly released his murderous aura? What's wrong? At this moment, Gu Xi was very confused. He didn't understand why Lin Rei would suddenly release such a terrifying murderous aura. Although he didn't know what was going on, Gu Xi could roughly guess it. Qianquan sect, haha, I didn't expect to have one in the divine realm. Looks like I'll have to make a trip there in the future. Hiss. As soon as these words came out, everyone's eyes widened, as though they had seen a ghost. Their eyes were filled with shock as they stared at Linley. Clearly, they were all stunned by Linley's words. Of course, this included Gu Xi. Although she had guessed it, she couldn't help but be shocked when she heard it. As the saying goes, the walls have ears. Although everyone here is a disciple who is about to go to the sect, it's inevitable that there will be some who forget righteousness in the face of profit and are immoral people. Thus, before everyone could react, Gu Xi transmitted her voice to Linley. Alright, let's end this matter here. Although I don't know what grudges you have with the Qianquan sect, don't make it so obvious in the future. The people here aren't all friends, there are some who are enemies as well. Someone has already exposed your secret. Let me ask you, with your current achievements, how can you fight against such a powerful existence? Gu Xi's words made sense. This wasn't the divine realm. As long as he waved his hand, there would be experts who would fight him. This was the divine realm that he wasn't familiar with. Furthermore, the Qianquan sect had existed here for God knows how many years. They were deeply rooted in this place. After hearing Gu Xi's advice, Lin Rei regained his senses. The hatred for the Qianquan sect for killing his wife and son was buried deep in his heart. Not long after Gu Xi's words, the murderous aura disappeared. At this moment, the thousands of people behind him felt their bodies lighten. The temperature around them, which had dropped to the lowest point, rose again. Chapter 486. Phew, after returning to normal, Linley let out a breath of turbid air, and then fell silent. He just continued to fly quietly by Gu Xi's side. Alright, everything is fine now. Seeing that Linley had calmed down, Gu Xi hurriedly drew everyone's attention away from him. Of the 2 sects, apart from our celestial sect, the other is the Qianquan sect. Gu Xi couldn't help but glance at Lin Rei. After realizing that he wasn't as out of control as before, she continued. The Qianquan sect has a long history. No one knows when it was established, at least I don't. However, the Qianquan sect has branches in every world, such as the celestial world. After a long while, Gu Xi continued, the Qiankuan sect is stationed in Wuzhou in the south. Therefore, under normal circumstances, you won't encounter them unless there's a promised gathering. Then, Gusi listed the top sects one by one. For example, the upper three gates. The heavenly gate was stationed in Juzhou, the earth gate was stationed in Tianzhou, and the human gate was stationed in Han province. Among the two palaces, the Enigma Palace was stationed in Lingzhou, the Heavenly Spring Palace was stationed in Danzhou, and the only empire, the Yuandao Empire, was stationed in Dingzhou. These sects are the top sects in the celestial world. However, the forces in the celestial world are much more complicated than what I've described. When we return to the sect, there will be a strange record of the celestial world. You will know then. After saying that, Gusi fell silent, but her flying speed did indeed increase. Before anyone could react, Gusi had already become a small black dot in their eyes. Ha! Lin Rei, who had been flying at a normal speed, chuckled and suddenly increased his speed. Roar! Instantly, in the blink of an eye, 3 azure dragons appeared beneath Linley's feet. And then, their speed increased, and they quickly left the rest of the group in the dust. Ugh, what's going on? This situation made everyone unable to understand, but this matter had happened too suddenly, so they didn't have time to think carefully. In an instant, everyone increased their speed and quickly chased after Gusi and Lin Rei. Time passed bit by bit. In the blink of an eye, 1 month had passed. However, during this time, everyone knew that there was a test to join a sect. This test tested one's ability. In this month, Gusi had thought of all sorts of methods. Other than a few people who couldn't keep up and were eliminated, everyone else had successfully joined the divine sect. It was a torturous month for everyone. Apart from flying during the day, they had to be on guard at night. Some people didn't even dare to sleep in the middle of the night, afraid that they would be eliminated. For a month, everyone ate and slept in the open. Finally, after a month, they arrived at the location of the divine sect in the eastern Pai province. Alright, your bitter days are over. At this moment, Gusi, who was flying in front, stopped and turned around. She said to everyone with a smile on her face. Her appearance was very warm, but in the eyes of everyone, it was very cold. They had truly realized how terrifying Gusi was in this month. Realizing that no one was speaking, and that they were all on guard, Gusi felt very awkward. Open. Seeing everyone's disbelieving eyes, Gusi didn't explain to anyone, but used facts to prove that her words were correct. In an instant, Gusi took out a white jade tablet and flew forward. Bang! Suddenly, a loud sound rang out. The jade tablet that flew out stopped not far away, and a trace of suspicious energy rushed out. As soon as he arrived, Linley's eyes narrowed slightly. Instantly, the tension in his forehead relaxed. He knew exactly what was going on. A barrier. That's right, this was the divine sect's barrier. Only those who had a disciple's token could open it. If anyone dared to barge in, they would trigger the barrier. As for the consequences, there was no need to think about it. In the end, they would definitely die. That's right. This is my divine sect's barrier formation, the Great Heavenly Cycle formation, a saint-level formation. Damn, saint-level. Hearing Gusi's words, Lin Rei's eyebrows twitched. Saint-level was an existence that was several levels higher than him. In the immortal world, it was at most a master-level existence. However, he actually saw a saint level at this moment. How is it? Are you very surprised? Looking at Lin Rei's expression, Gusi smiled and said, actually, you don't have to be like this. Although it's a saint-level formation, it was created by the first sect master when the divine sect was founded. Until now, there hasn't been a saint-level formation master in the divine world. Linley hadn't thought of this, but it was normal. In this realm, the practice of formations was different from that of cultivation. As long as one reached a certain level and absorbed enough spiritual energy, one would gain vitality. For formation masters, they needed time to settle down, experience, and luck. Only then would they be able to break through to a certain level. Okay, got it. After understanding, Lin Rei went silent. However, his gaze was still fixed on the jade tablet in front of him. He wanted to see how powerful this formation was. Rumble, rumble, suddenly, there was a loud sound. At the jade tablet, a door suddenly appeared and opened. Damn, it's true. We're really here. At this moment, a cultivator behind Gu Si shouted excitedly after seeing this scene. TSK, isn't it obvious? Are you stupid? Everyone saw what the man said. However, now that he was chased out by the man, everyone looked at him as if he was an idiot. Okay. Looking at the pairs of eyes around him, the man lowered his head and went silent. Kacha. 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 The sound of the door opening was heard. Instantly, everyone's gaze was attracted. Seeing the door open bit by bit, everyone felt as if their hearts were being squeezed by someone. Their breathing quickened. Whoosh! The current leader, Gu Si, immediately moved the instant she saw the door open. She charged to the edge of the door at an extremely fast speed, then turned around and roared at Linley and the others with her cultivation base at full force. Congratulations, junior brothers, for successfully joining the divine sect. Silence, a deathly silence. At this moment, no one spoke. However, everyone had smiles on their faces and their eyes were moist. Not long after, angry roars came out from the mouths of thousands of people. Some were venting, some were excited, some were emotional. All kinds of emotions were vented out at this moment. Time passed, bit by bit. Gu Si didn't stop them as she watched them vent. However, of all the people who were venting, Linley was the only one who slowly walked over to Gu Si's side. Okay, stop yelling. Hurry up and enter. Otherwise, when the divine sect closes, you will be eliminated. Suddenly, an extremely discordant voice sounded. The voice was filled with disdain. The moment the voice sounded, the people who were yelling immediately stopped what they were doing. Their gazes shifted to the person who spoke. They saw a man in red clothes standing behind Gu Si with a cold expression. He looked like an elder. Greetings, Deacon. Hearing this voice, Gu Si quickly turned around. When she saw the man's voice, she quickly bowed to the man. Her tone was filled with respect. Yes, Gu Si. If this happens again in the future, there is no need for me to say anything. Go to the law enforcement hall and receive your punishment. Do you hear me? Yes, disciple understands. Hearing the man in red's words, Gu Si's forehead was covered in cold sweat. She quickly agreed. Okay. Seeing that Gu Si had agreed, the man in red silently disappeared from everyone's sight. How could this be? Why did he disappear without any spiritual energy around him? At this moment, Lin Rei, who was next to the man in red, was shocked and puzzled when he saw the man in red disappear. He also knew how to teleport, but it was impossible for him to do what the man in red did. Alright, don't let your imagination run wild. Let's hurry up. I reckon that the sect leader knows about what happened here. Let's hurry up and report. At this moment, Gu Si, who was next to Lin Rei, saw that he was deep in thought and quickly interrupted him. She then turned to the crowd and said, Alright, let's go. Welcome to the entrance test. As long as you perform outstandingly in the test, the sect leader, elder, deacon, and protector will have the opportunity to be accepted as disciples. With that, Gu Si did not have the chance to talk to the crowd. She then led Lin Rui into the door. At this moment, the thousands of disciples in the distance saw this scene and quickly reacted. They instantly rushed into the door. "Senior." At this moment, Lin Rui, who had just entered the door, called out to Gu Si with hesitation. "Yes, what's the matter?" Gu Si, who was excitedly walking forward, suddenly heard Lin Rui's call. She stopped in her tracks, turned around, and asked in confusion. Looking at Lin Rui's troubled expression, Gu Si laughed and casually said, "If there's anything, just say it. As long as I can do it, I won't refuse. I don't want to participate in the Sect's entrance test." Boom, Kacha. Lin Rui's words were like a sudden clap of thunder that struck Gu Si's body. She was completely dumbfounded and stood rooted to the ground. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. At this moment, Lin Rui's words were like a curse that lingered in Gu Si's mind. She could not get rid of them. "I don't want to participate in the entrance test." Looking at Gu Si's expression, Lin Rui said calmly. He knew that this matter was unbelievable to Gu Si, but this was his choice. Why? At this moment, Gu Si regained her senses and looked at Lin Rui in disbelief. She did not expect Lin Rui to have such a thought. Furthermore, she could not understand it. Logically speaking, joining a powerful sect was the dream of every cultivator. Being chosen as a disciple by an expert was the most desirable thing for a cultivator who had ascended to the realm of the gods. However, at this moment, Lin Rui was doing the exact opposite. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.